All right, everybody, we are live with the Overrated Podcast, episode 9. This is Hoovy 186, back again with another podcast. And this is my friend, Traditionalist 101, speak your piece.
Yeah, this is the Traditionalist 101. Man, more news is coming on your way, ladies and gentlemen. And have an L.
Hmm.
Turn off your phone. Turn off your phone. Like you,
I'm trying. I'm trying. Hold on.
yeah. Put it on vibrate on silent. Come on, we gotta act professional here, man. Professional. You know how it is. But
Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully that's everything.
I'm just
Let me
pulling your leg.
mhm. Let me
Yeah,
get
just
my.
pulling your leg. So everybody, just in case if you are wondering, if this song sounds crappy to you, if the music in the background sounds awful, it was his decision
Shit's
because
fire. What are you talking about?
he obviously didn't like my selection, which is
Generic
fine.
dog shit. Generic dog shit. This is fire right here, as
Yeah,
the kids would say.
yeah, something that I guarantee. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say
No,
it.
go ahead, say it.
No, I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it because it sounds nice. It has a relaxing tone that I mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
and it just sets a good mood, relaxing mood for us and for the people watching. So yeah.
Do you think that? And I'll have the link to the music because obviously I don't want to use other people's music without giving them credit. So I'll have the link to the remix in the description after we're done. But let me ask you a quick question. Is this the best music? Because obviously this remix is inspired by Third Strike, right? Do you think Third Strike has the best soundtrack of any fighting game ever?
Of all the fighting games,
Mm-hmm.
no. I think it either goes to Tekken 5 or
Yeah, Tekken 5 soundtrack is fire. It really is excellent.
yeah. So when it comes to video games, yeah, Tekken 5. I think I have to give it to Tekken 5. I like Aqua 3 also. I know you don't. Uh,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I like Aqua 3 soundtrack as well, and I know you're not gonna like this one, but I really actually like Soul Calibur 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2 soundtrack. I even though it's more, they're using.
It
Go
it
ahead.
fit, it fits the game.
Yeah,
It fits the game.
yeah. What's interesting is that type of soundtrack was actually in Soul Blade, but in Soul Blade you actually had three different options. Like there was, the original option, and
Hmm.
there was one where it was kind of like a more hip hop, more rock, type of style. Like they
Really?
had, yeah. They had three options. It was pretty amazing, pretty amazing. But that was one of the best fighting games I played, during that time. And they had a great story, and they had a weapon master mode, but they ruined it after Soul Calibur. So
Hmm. Did it? I could have sworn two had so you were talking about two, right?
Soul Blade, yeah,
Oh, you're talking about Soul Blade.
yeah,
I think Soul Calibur had weapon. I think weapon master mode or something. I think they had that.
they did.
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not
I would
100%
have I would
sure.
have to check because I wasn't really impressed with Soul Calibur 2's weapon master mode, but I would probably have to play it again. But I think
Oh,
Soul
definitely,
Blade
yeah,
had the
definitely,
best one
yeah, definitely had that. Definitely had that. Yeah, I
because
definitely did that.
because think of it as a story mode like the arcade mode, but
Hmm.
more in depth. Like it was like really really more in depth when it was available for Soul Blade.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I'm not really into Soul Calibur 5 because it doesn't have any of the. It don't really have the stuff that made the other games special. You know what I mean?
Oh, they don't.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Not like it's not. It's definitely not a bad game, but it just. I just feel like a different fighting game than what I grew up playing. You know what I mean? It just feels. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I wasn't feeling it.
Oh, okay.
I still have the game. I haven't updated in a while, but Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I'm just trying to get everything shared out. Shout out to Multimaster. Hey, yeah, don't worry. I'll put that. I'll put that in the description soon. You know, like our accounts. Like I keep forgetting to put your account on the description. And I mean, technically, the podcast right now is on my account, so you don't really need to.
Oh snap! Heaven no.
Hmm.
You didn't put Malta's. Oh, by the way, what's up, Malta? You didn't put him in the description.
No,
Shame
no, no,
on
no, no, no,
you.
no, 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 no. I didn't put your name in the description. Your YouTube channel.
Oh me.
Yeah.
Oh
I keep forgetting to put your name on there.
yeah. Of course you did.
Whatever. And
But
he said he had Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube.
yeah. So did I. But this knucklehead over here wanted the PlayStation version because he hated Nintendo so much. But
I didn't have a GameCube at the time. And
yeah, sure.
I wasn't using that fucking Fisher Price controller for Soul Calibur. Wasn't doing that. Damn
Hmm.
sure wasn't doing that. The most overrated controller of all time. The only reason why people like that fucking controller is because of Smash Brothers. That is it.
That
Everything else, everything else played on like garbage.
uh,
And that's my take. That's my
um,
hot take for today.
Metro Prime was perfect for it.
Whatever,
Um,
whatever,
Zelda was perfect for it.
whatever.
Yeah. So
You have one big button in the middle, and you have everything else surrounding it. That's garbage.
there's nothing
It's
wrong with
garbage
that.
design. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
There's
it is.
nothing wrong with.
There's a reason. You want to know. You know what? You want to know something? You want to know how I know that the GameCube controller was dog shit? And I'm gonna tell you why. Right? When you look at what a great controller was, look at the Super Nintendo. Right? The Super Nintendo controller is one of the most celebrated controllers of all time. You want to know why?
Why?
You can answer.
Why?
Because every controller since then is modeled after that Super Nintendo controller. The first controller to have shoulder, I believe it was the first controller to have shoulder buttons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When Sega was doing 3 buttons, Nintendo was like, you know what? Let's make 6. You know what I'm saying?
I
Let's have
think.
6.
I think. I could be wrong. This is just speculation, but I think Sega Genesis was trying to mimic arcade sticks.
Not with the 3 button controller.
No, I'm talking about
What
the
you say?
6 button one.
Oh yeah. Of course, of course, of course. But you know, even though that's a great controller too. Don't get me wrong. But
What happened? What'd you say?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not what originally came out for the Sega Genesis. It was the 3 button one. The 6 button one they came out with later when they realized that releasing a controller with 3 buttons was was antiquated. Was completely antiquated.
Okay.
But the thing with the Game controller, and I'm gonna read Malta's post in a second. But the thing with the GameCube controller is that no other company used that controller as a barometer.
What the
The game
Segas?
the game no the GameCube controller. No one was like, you know what? This GameCube controller is good. We should mimic that. Nobody's ever said that. No one's ever said that, and no one's ever done it. Why? Because it's not a good controller functionality wise. It works for it can work for some games, but it doesn't work as a traditional controller, as a good traditional controller. I'll give you another example. The Xbox 360 controller. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm like a big component of the 360 controller. But if you look at PC controllers over the years, when you look at all the other third brand controllers that's out there, what is the design that they normally use? The 360 controller design.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people know a great controller when they see one. And I'm sorry, the GameCube controller is overrated dog shit. It is what it is. It's a C tier controller that everyone acts like an A tier controller. It is. It is what it is. Let me read. You can respond. You want me? Let me. Okay. You see Malta's response?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, read it.
Okay. The controller is terrific. It's
Yes.
not so good for most first person shooters, and the controller was inward where the D pad was located, which it should have been flat like the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, GameCube controller has never been mimicked, but why is it the same controller from 1 to 5 as well as Xbox to Xbox Series X? And the reason why is because if it's not broke, you don't try to fix it. That's never been Nintendo's motto, right? They've only really done that with their Pro controllers, because I think the Wii U Pro controller and the Switch Pro controller are pretty identical when it comes to, like, buttons and stuff like that, which is fine. Like that, I don't have a problem with. I heard the Pro controllers are actually very comfortable and very good. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. And the funny thing is that the PlayStation after the PlayStation 3 controller, which I will admit is not is easily Sony's worst controller, especially the six axis one, right?
Which one?
The one without the rumble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ever since the PS3 controller, they've done a great job of improving with the PS4 controller, which to me is the best one, and the PS5 controller, which I haven't really used in a game yet. I don't have enough time with the PS5 controller to say if it's better or whatever.
Uh,
And
it looks the PlayStation brand controller looks all the same to me,
hmm,
with the exception of the small one for the PS1 without the two joysticks. With the exception of that, they all look the same to me.
man, Steve, you gotta look harder than that, man. Like,
They all do the exact same thing. The only small little tiny tweaks and changes they made was the trigger buttons, which is awful.
hmm which was you're talking about the PS3, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, yeah, the PS3 controller had issues. Like, it had issues. Like, I remember the first time I held the PS3 controller after using the PS4 controller for so long, it literally feels like a lightweight. Like, it feels like it'll break in your hands if you use it
yeah.
compared to the PS4 controller. So, but anyways, all right. So you have a rebuttal for what I said about the game controller, or you want to move on?
No, no, no,
Admit that I'm right and then move on.
no. Because I do like the fact that they had a main button for the GameCube controller, which was the big one. That was your primary button, for all the functionality. So I didn't see a problem with that.
I don't.
I actually like that design.
It don't work for all games though.
I think it does.
Hmm.
Like I didn't have a problem with first person shooters. The only fighting game I actually had a problem with was the actually no, there was no fighting games I had problems with it. I don't think there would have been any game that I had played where the controller was a complaint or was an issue.
Hmm. I don't know.
So
It can work for some games, like Malta said. Like the game controller is gnarly. There are lots of action, and I mean a lot of great adventure and racing games on GameCube. So the A button sticks out from the others. Yeah, I think it works for some games. I don't think it works for others. I to me the face the to me the most important buttons to me are the face buttons. And when you have the face buttons all over the place, and I don't like that. They have to be the same size, and they have to be pretty much like I have to be able to move my thumb comfortably to each button without having to look down. And
no,
I can't and I can't say that about the GameCube controller. I just can't.
uh, I still like that controller. I really do. I love it. That's why they still bring it, till this day,
To because of
even for the Switch.
Smash. Because of Smash. Because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Smash.
because it's Smash Brothers. But guess what?
You're,
You are still able to use that controller with all the other games, Streets of Rage, Street Fighter, whatever it is. You can still use it. So what do you say about that?
but we know why the only reason why they made it. We know why. We know why they made it.
Yeah,
All right, so don't pretend that they made it so that you can play all the other games. We know why they made it. They keep re-releasing it. They
yeah,
keep giving you options to use the GameCube controller because they know that the vast majority of you guys want to use Smash. FY, you're not on camera, by the way.
yeah. No, I know.
Okay. All right. Anyway, all right. So let's start the podcast. All right. Now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. So you wanted to talk about this? shout out to Double Shooter. He's actually someone that I know. He's someone familiar to my channel. So shout out to Double Shooter.
Oh,
Um.
what's going on?
Okay.
Welcome.
All right. So you wanted to talk about this. So you can start it.
Are we starting now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put the music away if you don't mind.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, if you want me to leave it on, I can.
No. 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 That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I don't want like we can it's fine. You can turn it off.
Turn it off.
Ah crap. Yeah. 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 Turn it. Turn it. Turn it off. Get started with get started with your topic. I dropped my remote controller.
Wait, so it's the God of War topic.
Yeah. Well, crap.
All right. All right, so we're going to be talking about God of War. That is our first topic for today in this podcast. And obviously, we're going to be talking about the fact that now God of War is coming to the PC. And I'm definitely have strong opinions about that move. But I'm going to share the article, with everybody. And are you there, Heavy? No, because it's
Yeah. I'm
like
here. I'm here. I'm here.
you in a scuffle or something.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm just readjusting. Go ahead.
All right, so let me share this out real quick so I could show everybody what I'm talking about. I actually am I'm trying to, put some in the gameplay footage also. But for now, I want to talk about this because I think this is going to be a problem in the future, and this is going to be another "I told you so" moment for me to you, Hoobie.
What did you say?
Huh?
What did you say?
No, 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 no. It's gonna come back later. It's gonna come later. Not right now. Not right now. Wait, it's going to come back later because I had something special for you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's get this show on the road. So it says here that God of War is coming to PC, and here's what we know for now. It's official. So man, I hear myself twice. Um, give me 1 second. Okay, so here it says Kratos, the Sun are PC bound. In 2020, Horizon Zero Dawn became the first big first party Sony exclusive to launch on PC. It was a big moment. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
All right. It was a big moment for PC gaming, a sign that there have come a time when other beloved Sony exclusives like Bloodborne and Last of Us 2 are available outside the PlayStation with all the perks PC gaming has to offer. Behind Bloodborne, God of War may be the most sought after PC port from Sony's lineup, and now it's happening. Sony confirmed a PC port is in the works for early 2022. Sony announced the port with some welcome features enhancements, including 21 by 9 Nvidia
Mm,
DLSS support. Here what we know about God of War on PC. Okay, here's the problem that I have.
mm,
Okay, so God of War obviously it's a Sony exclusive, and let me close this stupid thing out. It's a Sony exclusive, and it's coming to PC in January 14th, 2022. Now, my main issue is this for this is I believe this is going to hurt Sony in the long run. Why? Because if they are going to continue to release their first party exclusive to other platforms, whether if it's PC or whatever, there's really no incentive to hold on to the PlayStation brand anymore. There really isn't. If I have a PC and I am aware that future Sony exclusives is coming to my computer, what's the incentive for me to buy a PlayStation anymore? There isn't any. Now, if I'm going to have all your special stuff, all your special goodies, all your good stuff that's coming out, there's no reason for me to hold on to your console. Let me just stick to the PC and wait for your games to come out. I'm going to have better graphics. They're going to add more features. So the people who are committed to the PlayStation brand, they are the one that's going to be the laughing stock, not the people who have the PC. Do you have anything to say about this so far?
I'm gonna show you an article. Let me
Because
tell
all right,
you.
while you showing the article,
Hmm.
I also wanted to address that I don't understand what's the whole point.
I
Sony
mean,
God of War game
the point is
has
simple.
sold over what I think 20 million units. 20.
It's
Like
simple.
this is Mario type of numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Hmm.
the type of numbers that you see from a Mario game, from a Zelda game.
It's
But
simple.
go ahead.
It like they want to
Here it
make
is
more
right here.
money.
Here
Hmm?
it is. There it is. Here it is right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. They want to make more money. This is what Jim Ryan, who's the head, you can hear me because the thing went on. The thing went out. Because every time the Wi-Fi thing comes on, that means my connection is acting dumb. Can you hear me?
When your Wi-Fi thing comes on.
Yeah,
Okay.
but can you hear me? Right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Jim Ryan, lying Jim Ryan. He said that he's frustrated PlayStation games can't reach more people. Right. This is what
Okay.
he said,
Right.
and you know, to me, I understand why they're doing it. They want to make more money. They want to reach more people. But I'm confused because if you want to reach more people, there's an easy way to do it, right? If instead of whining and complaining to whoever the fuck he's talking to, just release your fucking games on Xbox. Release them on Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, what this is like. Look, I've already said my piece on this. I don't hate PC gaming. I really don't. I don't hate PC gamers. But to me, what this highlights to me, and this is a sign when it comes to everything this generation and the last generation. And honestly, I gotta be real with you. Microsoft the one that started this, right? When they put their games on PC, where they sit there and they're doing memes with Nintendo when the whole what was it? Fortnite thing happened where where Nintendo and Xbox gamers can play together, and Sony for the longest time was like, no, we're not doing that. And I got called a Sony pony and all this other bullshit for saying that I wasn't. It's not something that should be the first priority. If it's something that can happen, then cool. But the thing that have always been a thing with console gaming is that what sells the games, what sells the system is the games. That's what sells the system. It's not the controller, even though it does play a bit of an important part. Like it's not the online features, none of that bullshit. At the end of the day, you buy consoles for the games, for their games.
Correct.
But it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. Now everyone, all you see on the Twitter, thing is, oh, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, and it's like, and then it's always like features. It's not games. It's always features, and it's funny that it became about features when Sony, from I would probably say 2015 to now,
Yeah.
we're releasing banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. But once that became the thing, then all of a sudden it's not about the games anymore. It's about the features. It's about, oh, which corporate head can who we can kiss our ass next, right? It's about community and all this other stupid shit that like individually matters, but not at the expense of games. So you asked me about the whole God of War thing, I'm not surprised. Why should I be surprised? I have this numbskull here talking about, oh, he's frustrated PlayStation games can't reach more people. Like, and the reason what pissed me off about what that statement is because there's an easy fix to it. But he knows that if they decide to finally put their games all on PC at once, if they decide that they're gonna go day and date with PC, you get what you want. So don't sit there and cry like, oh, you're frustrated when you already have a solution. You already have a solution. But the thing is that they know that when they finally make that decision, they're gonna be shitting on everybody who wasted their time buying their console. Because why? Because now you do the same thing that Microsoft did to their gamers, right? You give PC gamers your games at a higher resolution, higher frame rate, do all that. And then the one big caveat is that they don't have to pay for Xbox Live. Microsoft tried to sell Xbox Live and tried to get PC gamers to buy Xbox Live. I think they call it Windows Live or some bullshit like that. It didn't fly. It didn't fly. So now all of a sudden, now what happened? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Now what happened? Now they just started releasing their games on PC, and while their Xbox gamers had to pay $50 a year for Xbox Live, and PC gamers didn't have to do anything. None of the sort. And the only way the Xbox fanboys would complain about it is when a game got announced to go on PC. Like Quantum Break. When Quantum Break was announced for PC, like, oh how they don't have to pay for Xbox Live. They don't have to do this, they don't have to do that, but yet they get all the stuff that we get, but we don't they don't have to pay for the extra shit that we have to pay for.
Right.
Right? Now, I'm telling you, the only reason why I'm not upset about it is because at the end of the day, this is a trend that Sony's been going in. They did like you said, they're doing it with Uncharted. They did it with Horizon. You know what I mean? So they're eventually going to bring all their major titles to PC. It is what it is, right? But
But
yeah, go ahead.
but you're blaming Microsoft for doing that. Just because Microsoft did it, that doesn't mean you have to piggyback, what Microsoft is doing.
Okay,
You don't
that's
have
fine.
to.
That's fine. But Sony piggybacked on online. Why? Because Microsoft is making a ton of money. Because people, instead of saying we're not paying for Xbox Live, you know what the discussion was? Xbox Live was so much better than PlayStation Network, and it
Which
was
was true.
true. And it's true. And it was true at the time.
Yeah.
So did people complain about online gaming at the time? No, no, they didn't. So why wouldn't Sony follow suit? It's free money. It's extra money. Is that why would a company see what the competition doing? They see they're making this amount of extra money, and they're like, why wouldn't we do it? Why wouldn't we do it? Like it just makes sense. It just makes sense, especially the way that Sony did it in 2014 after not 2013 after the debacle of the Xbox One launch. Sony had to do was say what they said, and they won that generation with that press conference. But then they added, none. Then they put online gaming behind the paywall, and people were like okay with it. Why? Because it was better than Microsoft telling you if you don't want a game you don't want a console that's always online, you have to buy 360.
Hang on a second. I see several comments here. So, Devil Shooter says, "Don't believe in exclusives. Realize on everything, or get the f
Release
out of here.
release on
Release,
everything.
release on
Yeah.
everything, or get the
Get the f out. And that's pretty much what I said. Like, don't sit here and tell me that you're frustrated that these games aren't on everything. Release your fucking games on everything and shut the fuck up. Release your games on everything. You're clearly going in that direction. And like I said before, the minute they say that every game is gonna come day and date with PC gaming, I'm done with the PlayStation brand. I'm done. I'm not buying no more consoles. I'm done with PlayStation. I'm done with Xbox. Like, I'll still play their games, but I'll play them on PC. Why? Because now you gave me the option to play your games on better piece of hardware, and I don't have to pay for online. I don't have to do any of your constructive BS. The only reason why, and that's the thing with console gaming. There's especially now, especially when it comes to this generation, and even before then, I'm willing to deal with BS if I get what I want the most, which is quality first party titles. That feels different than your generic third party game, right? Or indie game. Like, I want your big budget, experiences,
yeah,
or at least in Nintendo case, their games, right? Their games like Mario, Zelda, whatever, right? The game that no one else can make, right? That's why I buy your console. I didn't buy your console because it's some powerhouse. No,
but
no,
that's
I
part
want
of it.
I mean, yeah, for console, yeah, for the beginning, yeah. But like at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, like these consoles, even when they're released, when very strong, they're still behind the top PCs graphically. They're still behind the top PCs graphically. So games can look good, like like we've seen great games, great console looking games, great games that look good on console. Like at the end of the day, you have to give me experiences that I can't get nowhere else. And when you're telling me and showing me that, hey, we're gonna put our games. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put our games on better hardware. Why would I not get the better hardware?
What did he say anything else? Jim Ryan.
I think he did, but I don't give a shit. Like I really don't care. But
Oh, because
I'll
I
scroll
was
down.
actually curious to see what else he said.
I'll scroll down
'Cause
because
like,
I'm not a fan of this dude. I really am not.
yeah, because I
And
was really interested to see what else he had, what else he had to say.
yeah, and the reason why I'm not the biggest fan of his because it's not because he's not like Phil. I don't give a shit about Phil Spencer either. But the one thing that I can say about Phil Spencer is that he comes off as someone who actually likes the game, right? And Jim Ryan is not like that, and that's fine. That's fine. I know he is a gamer. Like like I've heard stories about Jim Ryan. I know he's a gamer, but to me, when you're someone who likes to who say like he had this whole soliloquy about we believe in generations, we believe in this, we believe in that, and now all of a sudden all that changes, and it's like it goes completely against what the PS4 was about in their generation, which was we had the best games, basically. That if you want to play our game, you had to buy our console. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And they had a service in PlayStation Now for people who wanted to play PlayStation game, but didn't want to pay for the console. They wanted to buy the game, but not the console. You have PlayStation Now, and PlayStation Now was originally supposed to be on PC, TVs, mobile, all this other stuff, right?
yeah.
And they've done jack shit with that service. Done nothing with. Nah, they made improvements to it, but like it's not that service ain't worth
Well,
nothing because
well,
Sony don't promote it.
yeah,
And go ahead.
yeah. But with PlayStation Now, as regarding to God of War, if you have PlayStation Now, you have access to God of War. Is not. I don't think it's an exclusive to to PC. Like if you have PlayStation Now, you could play the God of War game if you didn't pay for it originally.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing that was supposed to be what bought those games to PC, not releasing them individually. And I don't know who's making the port to God of War, but if it's Santa Monica, then it's like, well, when are you guys gonna make God of War 2? You know what I mean? Like you're like, are you really wasting resources bringing the game to PC when you could be, making God of War 2? And also this notion that okay, and another thing that pissed me off, and I know you're not going to agree with this when it comes to Jim Ryan, is that now all of a sudden we don't want to leave PS4 gamers behind. So it's like, so now all of a sudden you don't want to leave PS4 gamers behind. That's why we have Horizon coming out on PS4, Horizon 2, Horizon God of War 2 coming out on PS4. Like, and these games, and I'm sorry, I don't give a shit what anyone tells me. These games are not going to look as good, you know, on both those consoles than it would if it was just dedicated to one. It's just
So
not.
you think it would have been a much bigger graphical leap if it was exclusively to the PS5?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm. Well, before I continue, he also said, "Okay, I'm saving up for a PC." Like the thing is for PC is that you constantly have to make upgrades, whether if it's you have to update your ROM or your CPU. I really don't have time for that. Like I know you got to be more tech savvy and be really dedicated of how and have a lot of knowledge how PCs work, how computers work, and all that other stuff. I honestly believe that's probably one of the reasons why I think, I could be wrong, but I think maybe consoles might still be relevant because a lot of people just don't have time for that. People don't have
But,
time to
but
build PCs and all that stuff.
no, I agree with you. But here's another thing that's frustrating, right? Like console gaming used to be a put in and play, right? Plug and play basically.
That's
You
what I
plug
always
in,
argued.
yeah. But now you come in, you have to wait fucking 30 minutes for an update, right? You have to wait for that. You have to do all the stuff that PC gamers normally would do, but they don't have to deal with they don't have to deal with the bullshit that console gamers do. They really don't. And it's I'm like what's the point of console gaming now? What's the point? If everything's gonna be day and date, what's the point?
Yeah, there really is no point because if I could have all the games I want in one device, like I said, what's the incentive to holding on to consoles? There
Right.
isn't any.
No, there is none. Like, and I know Nintendo is gonna be the last console standing. I don't know if I'll go that far, but like
I agree.
when it comes to like console exclusives, like you know that those games are only gonna be on Nintendo console. You know that,
Hmm.
and it's like and when you say that, people get mad at you. They call you names. They call you a fanboy and all this other bullshit. But these are the same people who they don't want to buy consoles. The only people who bitch and complain about it are people who don't want to buy consoles, right? And I understand they don't want to buy consoles, but it used to always be if you want to play that fucking game, you have to buy that fucking console. That's what I grew up on. That's what you grew up on, right? And for everyone to say now, oh, everyone gets to play the same games, everyone go kumbaya and all this other bullshit, when we still have fucking fanboys on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere, just whining, complaining about stupid shit. They're arguing with each other over pixels. Like I don't want to hear it, man. Like if you're going to argue over something, if fanboys are going to argue over something that's tangible, which is game, which has always been the games, which has always been the games.
Yeah, I agree.
You could talk about this, you could talk about that, but at the end of the day, if you have the games, you show them off. But now it's not the case anymore. Why? Because we have Sony making baseball games for Microsoft, and I know why. So it is what it is. We got Microsoft making. They have a multi-billion-dollar franchise in Minecraft, but they put it on everything. They put it on everything, and Phil Spencer's like, well, we don't want to get rid of those communities. We don't want to, leave those communities behind. What? The, that what? Like you bought this $1 billion franchise, but yet you still want to give the community, you still want to give the community their. You don't want to take their games away from them, but yet you have a new game in Starfield that's only going to be available on Xbox. You're not putting it on PlayStation, right? What about them? Right? Like man, these dudes are full of shit, man. They really are. And I'm getting worked up, and I did not expect to get this worked up, but uh, this is
Yeah, I'm
what this
trying.
is what I grew up on. Well, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm trying to read this where it says, I hope that PlayStation 5, and I really believe that PlayStation 5 will be Sony's biggest and best and most loved PlayStation yet. I hope that that will happen. Ryan said
Hmm.
when asked about this, when asked about his hopes for the future. Okay, here it is. I would also like to see a world where the games that we make at PlayStation can be enjoyable by many tens of millions of people, perhaps hundreds of millions of people. Right now, success with the current console model and a really great PlayStation hit, you're talking about 10 or 20 million people being able to play that. Oh, obviously he's not just talking about his PlayStation.
Clearly,
He's obviously not just talking about the PlayStation brand. He's talking about just about everywhere. But
how?
like you said, if
Yeah.
he go ahead.
No, no, no. Oh, no, you can go. You can go.
Yeah, if that's what if he really means that, then put it on all the consoles. Put it on all the consoles. If you want millions and millions of people to play, your games, put it on Nintendo. Put it on Xbox.
It to me it sounds like he wants to have his cake and eat it too, and Microsoft the same way. If you are going to say if you're gonna make these fucking consoles, right? then you need to give us something that makes these consoles worthwhile. Because I don't give a shit how powerful the Xbox Series X is, right? If it can't do anything that my PC can't do, then what's the point? The same thing with the PS5. I don't care what features the PS5 has.
Yeah.
Like if it can't do what my PC can't do, then what's the point? So he talks about wanting to make the PS5 the best console ever, but you're also thinking about having your games everywhere. That's what sells your console. It's the game. It should be the games. What else is there? And that's the thing that always frustrated me about these people. Like, and it's not only it's the Xbox dudes, it's the PlayStation dudes, it's the PC dudes, it's these influencers. They're always talking about other bullshit that don't matter when it comes to gaming in general. Right? They're talking about Game Pass. They're talking about the DualSense. They're talking about all this other shit, and they're not talking about the games.
Yeah.
And then when they do talk about the games, they're talking about, oh, this game should be on this game should be everywhere. Like, man, shut the fuck up, man. Seriously. Shut the fuck up. You have a lot of these people who all they do is they just kiss the ass of these executives. So they
You just went out. You said
okay,
kiss
hold on.
what?
They kiss these executive asses online, and these executives, no, especially the Xbox executives, Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, they know exactly what they're doing. They make a tweet. They got all these Xbox fanboys just kissing their ass, and all the other shit, and they know what they're doing. And these influencers, all they do is just they go around, they post pictures of their console. Oh look what Xbox gave me. Look what PlayStation gave me. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so honored. I can't wait to play your games and all the other stupid shit. Like all they're doing is just kissing ass. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. Oh, it's so awesome that you get to bring your game to PC. Oh, thank you so much, and all the other stupid shit, man. Like, and the thing that it infuriates me because this is the end of console gaming as we know it. That's what it is. And the thing is, and this is not a knock on Nintendo, but they don't do that. They don't do that with Nintendo. When it comes to Nintendo, it's like, oh well, oh, I can't wait to buy my Switch to play Nintendo games. Like I buy Nintendo console to play Nintendo games. But when it comes to PlayStation, they want their games everywhere because they don't want to buy PlayStation consoles.
Yeah. Cause hey, let me share this one real quick.
Yeah.
Cause um
All right, man. I am getting increasingly angry.
yeah, I know you are, and you
Why?
were acting like you were all nonchalant about it, but I knew this would upset you.
Oh man. It is like it just seems like there's that what I grew up on is being looked upon as a bad thing, and it's the only reason why it's the only reason. Let me tell you this: competition is the only reason why Sonic exists. Okay, oh, let me pop up your thing. It's the only reason why Sonic exists. It's the only reason why PlayStation exists. Okay, and
Yeah.
now you guys are telling me that the way that gaming was before, console gaming was before, is now antiquated. Is not the right thing. Cause not all we're gonna get now is Fortnite and a bunch of fucking copycats. Right? When PUBG released, all we got was nothing but battle royale bullshit, including in the game that we love. Like Call of Duty has a battle royale mode. Battlefield has a battle royale mode. Like man, come on, man. Like it's dog shit, man. Like it is. It's complete dog shit.
Yeah. So yeah, can you see my screen?
Let me put that full screen. Okay. Based on the numbers that have been publicly revealed, the sales total for God of War makes it the highest selling first party title on PS4. Other games such as Spider-Man, Uncharted, and Horizon Zero Dawn has all confirmed to have sold over 10 million as of this past, as well as in the past. And to me, like if you wanted to, like, here's the thing, right? If you wanted to bring these games to PC, you already had a strategy to do that with PlayStation Now. You had the strategy.
Yeah.
But if you want to bring the games individually to them, then that's fine. But I'm telling you, because but the reason why I'm so that annoys me about it is because I know where this is. I know where this is heading to. I know where this is going. They're gonna do the same thing that Microsoft did to their console. They're gonna put all their games on PC day and date. I see it happening. I see it coming.
Well, you see, this is the reason why. Well, I guess now that you say that, I really don't want to go on the "oh, I told you so" type of thing,
No, go ahead,
but
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
but
go ahead.
but
Because
um,
I'm riled up, so I'm ready.
because
Let's go.
because you see how it says based on the numbers, blah blah blah. God of War makes the highest selling, and other games such as Spider-Man, Uncharted, and Horizon. And mind you, remember the article that I shared? I don't know if I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago about Capcom.
Hmm.
And as I was trying to go down on my list and say, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, you cut me off and said, oh, based on what? How do you know these things are going to happen? And this is what I was trying to tell you. Now, I'm kind of wrong, I guess you could say, because I thought Capcom was the one that's going to start everything when they say they was going to focus more on PC. But now that Capcom had announced it, and now that we see God of War is coming out to PC, and if you are going to predict now that more games are going to come out on the same day as the games are going to be coming out for PlayStation, so basically, yeah, I was right the whole entire time. Like we are going to slowly lose, console gaming, and everybody's just gonna jump ship to PC.
Yeah, look,
Because look, at the end of the day, when Capcom said that they were going to focus more on PC gaming, I had said to you, I believe we are going to see more exclusives, Capcom exclusive games on PC only. And I think that's when you went crazy and said, "Oh, how do you know that's going to happen?" Or or whatnot. And
no,
now that we're seeing the same thing with God of War, because initially when I heard that God of War was coming out to PC, I thought it was the one for the PS2. That's what I thought.
I
But
mean,
then when I read it, I said, wait a minute, this is the God of War that's out for the PS4.
I even and another thing with PlayStation now, and before I rebuke your comment, I don't. I do wonder if PlayStation now is on. If God of all the God of Wars are on PlayStation now, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. I have to look into it. But let me tell you
Don't
the
don't
difference.
don't you have? Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't have PlayStation. I don't have that.
Because
I don't have dog shit. I don't have that dog shit service.
okay, go ahead.
But here's the difference. Capcom is not a console manufacturer. They're not.
Okay,
Sony is. I don't know. I don't know what Capcom's doing. I don't know their strategy. I don't know what they're doing. To me, the only thing they make that I care about right now is Street Fighter. That's it. And until and no, I don't hate Resident Evil, but I don't care about Resident Evil like that. And I don't know what other games they make that I can't think of any other game they make at the top of my head. Oh, this boss battle was incredible, by the way.
but this one here.
Hmm.
Oh, okay,
This one was
okay,
incredible, by the way. And but to me, like I don't know what Capcom's doing. I see what Sony's doing. I know what they're doing. Okay, and again, this is not a knock on PC gaming. It's not a knock on PC gamers, even though I don't like. There's some of them I really don't like.
right.
Right? There's not this. What this is essentially me questioning the value of the console that you're trying to sell people. Because if you're gonna tell me that you're gonna release your games on a platform where I can get better performance, better graphics, and not have to deal with the shortcomings of a console, like paying charging me to play online. What's the point? Like why would I buy your console out of brand loyalty? Like no, fuck that bullshit. I don't do that. I don't do that. And as much as you always claim me to be a PlayStation fanboy or whatever,
Which you are. Which what
but
you are.
do you ever hear a fanboy saying that they would never buy a PlayStation console ever again?
Well, I think you're right about that, but you're not the only PlayStation fanboy that's actually upset about this.
I
I've
know.
seen a lot of people are highly upset over it, whether it's on Twitter or on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I see it too.
Yeah,
I see it too.
they're and look, I understand why you're upset. I really do. But at the end of the day, it's really up to you guys. You guys gonna have to stand up and tell Sony that we don't support this type of crap. We don't support this type of practice.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
y'all
happen.
just gonna have to say something and do something about it. That I mean,
It's not
that's
gonna
really
happen.
all I could do. I mean,
It's
all I
not
could
gonna
say.
happen. It's not gonna happen. It's just not. It's not gonna happen. Like like I said, I'm not gonna do any boycott or anything like that because I'm not wasting my time with that. At the end of the day, you show like if you want to do what's best for you when it comes to your wallet, I'm okay with that. But I have to do. But as a consumer, I'm gonna do what's best for me. And if your what's best for you is not best for me, then I have to move on. It's that
Hmm.
simple. I have to move on. So yeah, I think I'm done ranting on this. You have anything else to say?
Um, I think I'm pretty much yeah, I'm pretty much on the same side as you. What's the incentive? What's the because look, I don't even have I never bought a PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying?
That's on
So
you. That's on you. That's not nothing to do with it. That's completely on
I
you.
don't have a PlayStation 4. So again, there's really no incentive for me to rush and get my hands on a PS4 or on a PS5 because the game is on multiplats. It's technically on multiplats. It's on the PC. What's the incentive? Look, there's really no reason. So I think Sony is not really putting in critical thinking when it comes to what strategies that they should use when it comes to releasing their games. Because look, obviously they're going to sell more copies if they bring it to PC. But the thing that I'm still confused about, at the end of the day, PC is still a competitor. It's no different than the Xbox or Nintendo.
They're not competitive. They're not. It's not a competitor.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is. There are plenty of people who would never, like you just said, there's people that would never buy a console because they would have PC. And you mean to tell me that Sony or Nintendo would not want to get their hands on PC gamers? Of course they do. The
Well, I
same.
mean,
This. It's the exact same reason why Sony buys studios, why Microsoft buys studios, is so they could get their hands on what is for Microsoft to get their hands on the PlayStation fanboys and vice versa. It's the same thing. So
they
why
want
wouldn't they
consumers
want to do that with the PC gamers?
because they're doing that by putting their games on PC. But they're not. But PC gaming is not a competitor. I don't look at it as a competitor because it's not a brand that you have to like. You can't measure the success of a console compared to a PC. Like people have lots of people have PCs. Like you're the way the barometer for console gaming and the barometer for PC gaming are completely different. They're
Hmm.
completely different, at least in my opinion. But
Well, do you still think Nintendo's a competitor?
yeah, of course, because
Even
they're in the process of selling consoles.
despite the fact that they say they're not competing against Sony and Microsoft.
Don't listen to whatever they say. They are competitors. That's what they are. They're competitors. I don't give a shit what Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony said. They're all competing. They at least they should be competing for the same dollars. And it's too much of this kumbaya bullshit that got us to this point in the first place.
Yeah.
But
All right. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. But are you did anyone mention anything in the comments? I'm sure they had a lot of stuff to say.
let me read some of this stuff. Sony said themselves, PS1 guys will stay with us. That's what Jim Ryan is banking on. I mean, listen, I'm a PlayStation 1 guy. Like, so I don't know. He's like, if he thinks that I'm just going to, if they're gonna release their game day and date with PC, and I'm gonna just stay because of brand loyalty, then he got me fucked. He got me fucked up because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like I buy your console to play your games. That's it. Like that's why I buy your console. I buy your console to play your games, and I'm nothing else. And now before it used to be about oh it had the best controller, oh it's cool, like the games are cool, like this game's only releasing on that console. Now really the only thing now is the games, and that list of games is dwindling. So it's like like I said, like I'm not. Look, I go where the games are, and if the games are on PC, that's where I'm gonna go. So
Uh yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. So Yeah, it looks like we're in the same boat when it comes to this topic. Um, we're being censored, and more people want this than not. Hmm.
I think he's right about that. Yeah, more yeah, like I said, mostly it's the Xbox dudes who don't want PlayStation. It's the Nintendo dudes who don't want PlayStation. It's the PC dudes who don't want PlayStation. Like that's they don't want to buy a console. They don't want to buy multiple consoles, so they're happy that the games are going everywhere. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is. And the way when me and you grew up, and I don't know how old anyone else is in the chat. I don't know how old you are, Double Shooter, but when I grew up, if you wanted to play Sonic, you know exactly what you had to do. You didn't go on. Not granted, we didn't have online, but you didn't write letters to Nintendo begging them to bring Sonic to the console. You knew exactly what you had to do. Get your mommy and daddy, get some money, and then get and buy a fucking Sega Genesis. That's how it used to be. If you had they the thing with between competing consoles is who had the games for you. The N64, PlayStation 1, which console had the games for you? If you were able to get both, you got both. Same thing with PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, Xbox, GameCube. Whichever console had the games you wanted, that's what you bought. You didn't beg and plead, "Oh, please bring those games to the PlayStation. Please, 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 please." No. No. It wasn't like that. Now it's like, oh, that way of thinking is antiquated. And I'm telling you that it's what made gaming so great back in the day. Competition is what makes gaming great. So you're okay. That was you to say he's 26. So you probably you grew up during the PS3/PS4 era, right? At least when it comes to like
No, I
being
think he grew up by with the PS2 era and the
no, no, no. But I'm
360.
talking about like as far as like buying your own, being able to buy your own console, being able to buy your own stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. So yeah.
okay. But look what he says here. He says they're not a competitor in no more sense, but it can take money out of the big three, out of the big three companies, which I agree with. Which is
Mhm.
why I said, they're you could still
More
call
superior.
them,
Okay. All right. All right. All right. I see. Go ahead.
yeah. Which is why I would still say that PC is somewhat a competitor because they could still take money away from you.
Well, yeah, obviously, but not in a sense where you're competing against PC gaming, right? Like that's not. I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it in the same way. Like it not in a normal sense, like Double Shooter said. Maybe not in a normal sense, but I don't look at it. I don't look at it the same way as I do when it comes to PlayStation versus Xbox or PlayStation versus Nintendo. You know what I'm saying?
No, okay.
All right, so we can move on from this. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. This thing, you can tell this thing pisses me off. But
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, it's. But I knew this was coming because I guarantee you, like I said, with Capcom doing this, Sony's doing this. I think more companies are going to follow suit.
yeah,
More
I mean,
companies.
like, I don't care if Capcom puts game. The only, like I said, the only game I care about is Street Fighter. And if they make Street Fighter exclusive, the one that's gonna be dumb. Like that would be completely dumb. You know what I mean? But
If they make Street Fighter exclusive for PC,
yeah,
okay.
that would be dumb. But whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, let's move on. All right. So while let me get the website up. Um, so on a happier note, the GTA trilogy has finally been announced. It's always been something that has been rumored for
Yeah,
the longest time, but now we have the official announcement from Rockstar. They showed off a trailer which I'm looking for right now.
yeah. I would like to see it again while you're
Yeah, which
talking
I'm
about
which
it.
I'm trying to show right now. And where is it?
Yeah, while you're looking for it, yeah, the
Hmm.
GTA collection. I mean, I think it's a little long overdue
Hmm.
because usually, I mean, I could be wrong about this, but usually, these collections would have. I mean, that collection would have been out. Should have been out. I think, in my opinion, I think that collection should have came out. During at the very least the PlayStation 4 era.
Hmm.
And that's just my opinion. I just wanted to bring something
Well, I
up
mean,
because
the game's coming out for everything. So like, so if you have PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X,
do, do
you're
you do you find that to be a problem? Do you think it should have been an exclusive?
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Those games should be experienced by everybody, in my opinion. Those games should be. Oh, did I stop sharing?
You probably did.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get back to. Okay. Uh, yeah, those games should be available for everybody.
Oh, you know what's funny? Devil Shooter said, "Am I the only one who thinks Vice City looks off?" You know what? I actually thought the exact same thing. Well, I don't know what you mean, like in depth. Like you're gonna have to give me some examples or give me some details. But for me, I felt like the character model, looked a bit off to me.
it does look weird.
The character models, yeah, it
Hmm.
just looked a little strange. They didn't look, realistic like Grand Theft Auto 3 or San Andreas, in my opinion. I just
Yeah.
felt like it looked strange, just weird looking. Like they didn't put much emphasis or much work into Grand Theft Auto. But this is the trailer.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's over.
Not the official trailer, but it's the trailer.
Oh, no.
Trying to look for it, but I don't. Hey, hey.
Well, while you're looking, how do you are you happy about the collection?
Yes, I am very much very happy. Here and the reason why I'm happy about it because these are the games that are I'm thinking about it, and these are the games that define my gaming life when it came to the PS2, right? Like I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 3 at my cousin's house. I think that was the first time I ever played it, and I had played Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, which were the top down games before, and those are fun games. Those really are fun games. Those games don't age that well either because of the controls, but those are fun games, right? But GTA 3 changed everything. It changed everything. It
Yeah.
and it was I from the commercial with the awesome commercial that they had for it, and it was just it was such a landmark game for console gaming, for gaming in general,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just so many hours, there's so many hours just playing, spending time playing the game, getting the game, just learning the game and stuff like that. It was fun. It was some of the best gaming moments I've ever had.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about. There was one person that you wanted to talk about.
As far as what?
Um about Paul.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, let me. Okay, so you had three, right? Like, and to me, Vice City to me is my favorite one
Yeah, I remember you told me
because
that. Yeah.
yeah, because one is Miami, is Miami based. You know what I mean? And the game is also the reason why I love 80s music. You know what I mean? If you look at my playlist, I have nothing but 80s music, and I have a lot of that music in that was in Vice City that's in my playlist right now. You know what I mean? Like it was a game that it was a game that has a special place in my heart. Um and it's a yeah, it's a special game to me. And obviously me and you, we grew up, we pretty much been going to school together for since we were elementary school. So like I said, we've been up and down this thing together for the longest time. And when we were both in high school, and I don't know if you were there or not, but when I Vice City, I think, came out in 2001, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Either 2001, 2002, I don't remember. But the first time I played Vice City was at my friend's house, right? Our mutual friend Paul, right? And he had the game, and I'm like, "Yo, dude, where did you get the game?" and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I got it at Best Buy," and at the time they were selling it for $40. So I played at his house for a little bit. Then we went. Then I went home and I literally had to beg my mom, "Yo, we gotta go to Best Buy. Please take me to Best Buy. Give me 40." First, I told her, "Give me $40, right?" And I told her, "Please take us to Best Buy, right?"
Yeah.
So she took us to Best Buy. I run into the store. I'm running into the store, right? Because like I said, it's Grand Theft Auto. Like Grand Theft Auto at this point, when Vice City was coming out, that was a big deal. Like after the whole success of three, Vice City was a big deal.
Now,
So
before you continue with your story,
mhm.
did you were not interested in Grand Theft Auto 3? Because I remember you didn't really too much care for it, right?
No, no, I love Grand Theft Auto 3. I did that. I don't remember if I bought it, but I had played it so much at my cousin's house that like they were coming out with Vice City, so I'm like, shit, let's go get I might as well let's go get Vice City.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so I run to the store and I see this a random Best Buy employee. I ask her, "Yo, please tell me you have Vice City." She said no, and I was about to cry, but then she's like, "Oh no, I'm just joking. I'm joking. We have it. It's right there." So
Ha! That's
so
funny.
yeah, that's funny. But and obviously that was special because like I said, brought back tons of memories playing the game, talking about it with friends, and a year ago, I think this happened a year ago. Our friend Paul, he died because of a drunk driver, right? And yeah, so when the game was released, they're showing off the remake of Vice City, and that was the first thing I thought about, and it was like it's just that these games hold a special place in my heart. Like, and you know how I am when it comes to nostalgia. I'm not a nostalgia whore like some people here, traditionalists. Anyways, but I'm not. But these like when it comes to nostalgia, these are the games that get me. Right? These are the games that get me because you're talking about games that defy a generation. They shape your life in a way that other art forms would for other people, and I feel that way about Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like Grand Theft Auto was such a big deal. I remember when Vice City came out. Well, when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, I remember people were just talking about it because it was
mhm,
the first Grand Theft Auto that was 3D.
yeah,
And everyone just went ballistic about that game. Went absolutely crazy about that game. And then when Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out, like the I remember vividly that when Vice City was out, and because remember 3 came out, but here were the games at the time. I don't want to go off topic, but
mhm,
the games that you heard everybody talk about was Grand Theft Auto 3. Then when Vice City came out, you heard people constantly, I don't know if you remember, people was talking about Metal Gear Solid 2
mhm,
and Final Fantasy 10. And a little bit of Madden, people was talking about Madden and
mhm,
whatnot. But when those games came out, while we were in high school, obviously, like it was just such a big deal. It seems like no matter what period, no matter what class that you were in, somebody is talking about those games.
yeah,
Because not only was there such a huge leap, but I told Soul and our other friend that when I was playing, for example, Final Fantasy, the graphics had was so revolutionary. I couldn't tell when the cutscenes were over.
yeah,
So when the cutscenes were over, I still had the controller down, thinking, there's more, cutscenes to watch, and everyone in the background is telling me, "Steve, move," because the graphics was just was such a high level. What's the word? It was just such a major improvement
mhm,
that it was just mind boggling. Like, it just blew me away. And when Vice City came out, bro, everybody kept on saying, "Hey, did you get Vice City? Did you get
Mhm.
Vice City? Did you get Vice City? People just
Yeah.
reading about it. Everybody's just talking about this game.
Yeah, because
And
remember back before I'll let you continue, but back in the day, we actually had to read magazines
yes,
to find out previews of these games. A
yes.
lot of young people don't know that. A lot of young people nowadays, you get trailers and stuff like that.
But those were the fun days. Like that, those were
Hmm.
actually fun at the time. Where I would see one person, at the reading a Game Informer or Game Pro magazine.
Hmm.
Game Pro doesn't exist anymore. But I don't know if you guys knew about Game Pro. But when Game Pro was relevant at the time, I solely remember how when you would see somebody with a Game Pro magazine or a Game Informer magazine, all the dudes would come sit next to whoever had a magazine in their hand,
Hmm.
and they would pass it around the class. Like it was such a big deal.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah, go ahead.
remember. I remember going to Publix and looking for the game magazine, and it was covered. It was actually covered in a wrap, so
Yeah,
you
and
could read
plastic.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Those, yeah, like I said, man. It's one of those things where nostalgia bit me in the ass. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like it coming back to these games, and that I mean that's probably and obviously to talk about San Andreas. San Andreas is the one that I think a lot of new people like Double Shooter said I never played the stories of those games. It is near new to me. For anybody who's familiar with Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5, San Andreas is the one that's probably going to be the most you're going to be the most familiar with. Now, with that said, like this is also the one that annoyed me the most. And the reason why it annoyed me the most because this is the one that had the sim elements of having to eat and
working out.
yeah, working out and all the other stuff that I actually didn't like. I didn't like that portion of it. But like I said, like it's also the only one which I didn't beat personally. Like I didn't get a chance to beat Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Actually my sister did,
Which sister?
the younger one.
Okay.
Yeah, she beat the game. I like obviously we were sharing like save files or whatever, like, and she got a lot further in the game than I did.
Yeah.
So she loved that game. But yeah, so nostalgia, all nostalgia aside, the main reason why I'm buying this game is because they said, and I hope they're true to this, that they were going to modernize the controls.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, and they have to because those games do not age well. Like I remember trying to play Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, impossible,
Why?
impossible. Because those controls, they just especially when you're playing. Like remember at the time when I got to play those games, I also played Grand Theft Auto 4,
Mm-hmm.
and Grand Theft Auto 4 had modern controls.
Okay.
Like those games, Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories had the old controls, and it's like this ain't it, man. Like I couldn't do it.
So
Like I
the
couldn't do
controllers
it.
were clunky.
Very clunky. Maybe and remember I played those games on a PlayStation on a PSP, so I don't know if it was just the PSP that was clunky, but those games were clunky. So for them to modernize the control, that's the main reason why I'm buying it. But like I said, the nostalgia of it is important to me too because I do think that especially if you're a fan of GTA, these are the games that you need to play to at least appreciate where the series came from and and appreciate where it is now. And I know that a lot of people are not big on GTA 5 right now because of all the bullshit that's going on with them re-releasing Grand Theft Auto 5 again, and and all the bullshit they've done with the online. But like if you want to know why Rockstar is still among the greatest developers of all time, why they have such a great pedigree, play these games.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me share this article right quick
Hmm.
because I want to share something that I actually dislike about this collection.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So
Oh,
let me go
okay.
ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Show me. You're gonna talk about the graphics.
Well, that's included, but there
Hmm.
was something that I actually wanted to something that was actually another addition.
Okay, okay,
that I
yeah.
wanted to basically include.
Okay,
Um,
okay, go ahead. Show. Okay,
all
okay,
right,
I see it.
all right, so you're ready to see it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to skip all of this because we already know about the pricing. And are
Mhm.
you pre-ordering this?
I think it's only. I think it only comes out digital at first, and then it comes out physical a
Okay,
month
now
later.
yeah, that's exactly where I wanted to get to.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so basically it says that the game is also set for physical release on selected platforms in December, according to
Oh, what does it mean? So, oh, okay. Hopefully that means the console that's gonna be on.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, as I continue on,
Mhm.
it says that it will be available digitally on November 11th through the
Mhm.
PlayStation Store, the Microsoft Store, Nintendo eShop, and the Rockstar Game Launcher. I'm
Mhm.
not too familiar with that one. What is that?
Oh, it's a PC app thingy.
Oh, okay, for PC.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, with a physical release for Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Switch, and PS4 on December 7th.
Mhm.
So the physical release is not available for PS5.
Oh shit! I just realized that.
This is the stuff that I'm actually confused about. So let's go back into it again. So
Mhm.
Rockstar has announced release plans for the collection, which has been adapted by the modern platforms. Blah blah blah. Okay. Now it says it will be available digitally on November 11th through the
Mhm.
PlayStation Store, Microsoft Store, Nintendo eShop, and Rockstar Launcher.
Rockstar Games Launcher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rockstar Game Launcher. With a physical release for Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and the PS4. Why isn't the PS5 getting it?
I have no idea. I I
Oh,
don't
that's right.
know.
You said. Oh, that's right. You just realized it.
Yeah, I just now realized that. I have no idea.
Yeah, see. I don't understand what's going on here. You are releasing a digital copy for the PlayStation Store, but you're telling the exact same audience that you're releasing the digital copies to that they're not getting a physical one.
When I read that, I was disappointed. 'Cause I wanted the physical copies. That's what I preferred. I preferred to have it physically. Um, but with that said, like I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it digitally. I'm gonna buy it when it first comes out.
When it comes to the one digitally, see, this stuff is just too confusing. I
I
really don't
agree.
like what's up.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
It's too
this
confusing.
is just too confusing to me. Like, just release everything for whatever platform you choose,
Hmm.
and when you have the physical copy, do you remember the times when a game was released digitally, it would also be released physically at the same time, or digitally it would release later.
Or well, the trend now is to release like for at least for indie games, they will release the game digitally first, and then if they did enough, they would sell physical copies later.
I just don't get it.
Well, I don't get it from Rockstar point of view because it's not like they don't have the money. Like, let's be real here. Like, they have the money to not only release the game physically but digitally as well on all platforms. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they have any type of deal or anything like that. But I would prefer if it came out. I would prefer to buy the physical version. But
Yeah.
if they don't, then it is what it is. But I'm just confused by it. It is confusing. I do agree with you there.
Okay. Now here's another thing I wanted to address. Do I think the collection is bad? No, I don't. However, the game is what, $60? No, $50.
Okay, hold on. Before you do, hold on. Let me read two comments from Multimaster. GTA on a Nintendo home console. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty amazing. Because I don't remember too many Grand Theft Auto games coming out for a Nintendo home console.
Right.
That's great. I think 3 and Vice City might be on the GameCube, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think so. No.
You know, yeah, maybe more than likely probably not. But
No, yeah, yeah. I remember both games were only for the Xbox and the PlayStation. Well, Vice City was exclusively for the PlayStation at the time.
yeah, but then I remember they did release it on Xbox later,
Yeah,
and then they did the same thing with uh with San Andreas. And
yeah.
Devil Shooter said that PS5 will probably be upgraded from PS4 disc automatically. Um, yeah, that could be the case too.
Wait, what is it?
That he said that if you put the PS4 disc in the PS5, it'll automatically update it to the PS5 version.
I'd never heard them say anything like that.
Yeah, well, like it could be like it could happen. Other games do it too, but we'll see what happens. I just find it weird, and plus like PS4 is back compatible to PS5. I mean PS5 is compatible to PS4, so it's not the
Like
biggest. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it is kind of weird.
it 100%. Like all games, like they
Uh,
could play
the
all
vast
PS4
majority,
games.
the vast majority, the vast majority,
Mm,
and
I don't like the sound of vast majority.
well,
I
I
don't
don't know
like
if
the
it's.
sound of that.
Well, listen. As far as I'm concerned, backwards compatibility is every game should be playable day one, no matter what. Like I agree with you there, but I do think the vast majority of the PS4 games are available on PS5 to play.
Okay, so
And Multimaster also said the only GTA games on Nintendo were the handheld. Yeah, that's true. Like that was the first time I played Chinatown Wars
oh, you actually played it? Where?
on a. I think I played it on an emulator for was it? No, actually no. I played it on a PlayStation Vita.
Oh, but you emulate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the only issue that I have, with this collection.
hmm
Now, do I think it's a little expensive? No, not really.
Three games for $60. I'm fine with that.
Okay, here's the only issue that I have.
hmm
The issue that I have is I kind of wish that they added Vice City Stories and Liberty City into that collection
So you,
because if correct me if I'm wrong, but
mhm.
those two games were only for the PSP, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, knowing that, I believe I'm not the only person that feels this way. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people would actually want to experience those two games as well. And the fact that a lot of people didn't have an opportunity to play those games because it was exclusively for the PSP. I wish they would have included those two games into the collection. Now, the PS1 version, I'm fine with. If they don't want to include those in there, I'm fine with that. But at the very least, they could have added Vice City Stories and Liberty City into the collection. That's a real collection, in my opinion.
Um, I agree with you, but I don't expect Rockstar to put that much effort into those two games. Because honestly, like I played Liberty City Stories, it's vastly inferior to Grand Theft Auto 3, in my opinion. Vastly inferior.
You
Um,
said Liberty Cities.
yeah, Liberty City Stories is vastly inferior to to three Grand Theft Auto 3. It's not even close to being as good.
What about Vice City Stories?
Same thing, probably even worse.
But those games came out later.
Yeah, they did come out later, but they weren't like they were on weaker hardware. Not nah. What did I say? Yeah, more like it was. Yeah, it was on weaker hardware. It was on weaker hardware.
Weaker hardware, huh?
hmm
Okay.
So like like they're not gonna definitely not gonna put in the effort to put in they're not gonna put in the effort to remaster those games. At least I don't think they would. It would be nice if they did. Like I don't disagree with you, but they're not going to. They're not going
You
to.
okay? So you it looks like you're kind of like on the fence on this one.
As far as no. I agree with you, but like I know like Rockstar nowadays they're not going to put that much effort into it. Yeah, I just have like a feeling that they're not going to.
Yeah, but like, do you know? Oh, hold on, let me see. PS5 will probably be upgraded. Okay, yeah, you read that one.
Mm-hmm.
The only GTA games on Nintendo were the handheld. Yeah, Chinatown. Yeah,
Chinatown, and there was another one that was on there too. I don't remember.
there
I
was.
think there, yeah, I think there was.
You sure?
Yeah, well, remember GTA 1 and 2 were on the Game Boy. I think Game Boy Color,
I think you're right.
and they might have had a GTA game on the Game Boy Advance, but I can't think of it. I can't. I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, dude, that was so long ago. I don't think I remember. I'm trying to remember, but I can't.
Hmm.
I can't. Um, but yeah, I wish overall they would add, those two games, onto the into the collection.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I just think that Rockstar's not going to put the effort into it like that. They're not going to.
You think that's too much work? They think that's too much work.
I mean, for them, probably they probably think that. And honestly, I played those two games. Like they're not as good as they're not as good as Liberty City and Vice City. They're not as good.
Did you beat the games?
No,
Why not?
I got bored of them.
Oh, come on, dude.
I got bored of
Like
them.
you serious?
Yeah, I got bored. I got bored of both of them. Like it is not. It wasn't it, man. Like it wasn't it. And part of it was because the controls. The controls were not good, and also like like I had other stuff to play at the time. So
Uh, well, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's I guess that's fine. But here's the reason why I wanted to mention that. It's gonna be real quick. I know you don't care about this, but it's just to prove a point.
hmm
Just to prove a point. Um, you see this collection here?
yeah,
This is the real collection.
Metal
The
Gear.
Metal Gear Solid. I actually have this, for the PS3.
You do?
Yeah,
No, that's weird. I never seen you play it.
yeah. You don't act like you come over all the time.
I mean, that's fine, but I'd never seen you had the disc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have the game, and look, the collection had Metal Gear
Mhm.
Two, Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, VR missions, Sons of Liberty, Snake Eater, Part Three, Snake Eater. That one was a really big deal. Guns of Patriots and Peacemaker for the PSP. See,
Which is the one I played. I had that one.
yeah, I'm trying. I could have sworn they had Acid on there. The one that I have, I could have sworn they had
Well,
Acid.
Acid was the card game, right?
Yeah, the card one, that overrated trash. Yeah.
Mm.
But you see, this is a real collection. Like they included even the handheld onto this collection,
Yeah,
for Peace Waker. So
I'm stunned. I'm stunned. They fit Metal Gear Solid 4 on there because, dude, you weren't there when my cousin had the game, right? Bro, that game took years to install. It took years to install on the PS3.
oh, I didn't know it took years.
No, no. I was obviously I'm joking, but it took a
Oh,
long
okay.
time.
Hyperbolic
I think
statement.
no, like legitimately probably took almost 2 hours to upload, to install.
Okay.
Almost 2 hours to install. It was
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah,
It was
you know what? I think
crazy.
I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember that. It did take a while,
It was
and
crazy. But
yeah, it took a long, 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 long time to freaking, install into the console. But yeah, that collection right there was a phenomenal collection. Like I don't ever recall seeing any other collection that's close to that. I don't think so. Now you maybe the Street Fighter collection, because they had two, and they had, Alpha, the Alpha series, and I think it had Third Strike, I think.
mhm.
But other than that, what other collection you could think of that had all of those games?
I mean, I'm sure there's other collections that of games that we don't play.
I don't
I'm
think
sure.
so.
I'm
If
sure.
maybe the other guys could probably help me out, but that's a true collection. So, in my opinion, I would have really appreciated more if they added Liberty Cities, Vice City stories, and if they want to include, the Chinatown one, or the one for the PS1. Sure, add those in there. That's a real collection where you actually have the opportunity to experience true nostalgia. The one from, the PS1, obviously, Chinatown and Vice City and, 3 and, San Andreas and the Vice City stories. I think that would be an amazing collection. But and if they don't want to remaster them, just, at least, just put them in the game, just put them in the collection anyway.
Uh, yeah, but I don't want those games. Those especially those games. Those games need to at least modernize the controls. At least, like, holy crap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do that. Yeah, do that. But I mean, that's just my opinion. And just one last thing I want to add: the Nintendo version also features Switch specific controls, which I know you don't care about.
Hmm.
Gyro aiming, as well as touchscreen camera zooming. Now, obviously, this is you can only have this capability with the Switch because of the the whole touchscreen thing.
Hmm.
I do find that a bit interesting where you have now. I know you don't care about this, but for me, a lot of people do find it a really big deal when you could able to maneuver the camera with the second stick. But this one, I don't recall any other game where you could actually zoom in and play with the camera like in real depth. I'm actually interested to see how that actually works in the gameplay.
So you're gonna get it on the Switch.
No, no, no. But I just want to see it. I just want to be able to see, or is it just a stupid gimmick that's not needed, or like or does it really actually enhance the gameplay? Because like
I
even
mean,
even even you said it. You said this many times yourself that being able to control the camera with the second stick is extremely convenient for our gamers.
mhm. So
But
that means you're gonna get it on the Switch.
I didn't say that. But I am
Mm,
interested to see how the zooming mechanics would enhance the gameplay, or what different experiences that you could get with that. Because I think there's more to it than just zooming in and out. You know what I'm saying?
is it only available on the Switch?
The zooming effect, yes,
Hmm. Okay.
yes. And the
Yeah,
fact that
that's what
this
that
is
was yeah.
Rockstar that's implementing this and not Nintendo, I'm
Mhm.
actually interested to see how it works.
So you're gonna get it on the Switch.
Maybe,
You said no at first, and now you said maybe.
maybe.
Nah. Oh, anyway,
I mean,
Nintendo
it's the only
fanboy.
feature that the others doesn't have. But
All right, all right, all right. Let me read a couple comments and then we can move on.
yeah.
All right, Multimaster said, "I know that I'm a year late, but since we're on the subject, I want to talk about the Super Mario 3D All Stars. Um, what games came out for like you would know more than me. What game came out for it?
For the Mario collection,
I think it was supposed to be Galaxy 2, and I think 3D
it was
3D
um it
Land.
was it was Mario Sunshine.
Hmm. Okay, so it was those three games, right? So no Mario 64.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
At least I don't remember. I didn't buy the game. I know my brother probably wanted to buy it, but I don't think he did. At least not yet. But I think that was only a temporary, availability. I think it was.
I don't, and that to me, I don't understand why that's the case. Why is it temporary? You're
I get.
fucking Nintendo. Like those are your games. Why can't you have it out for people to actually buy it?
I think they wanted people to buy as quickly as possible.
Just quickly, it's fucking. All right, whatever. Whatever. Let's move on. Let's
No,
move on.
no, no,
Let's
no,
move
no, no. I'm actually on your side. I don't understand why they only wanted to, make it a, a temporary when it comes, yeah, a temporary. I don't know how to, say it correctly, but
on. Okay.
just temporary. It was
Okay.
going
So,
temporary.
all right.
I
So
don't understand it.
Multimaster and Double Shooter essentially said that it was Mario 64, Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, you're right. They're right. They're right. It was Mario 64. Yeah.
Hmm. So they didn't have Galaxy 2, and I guess they didn't have Super Mario 3D Land. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, for the DS, no.
No, no, not that one. I'm talking about for the I think the one on the Wii U. I think the
No.
four-player one.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't get the limited release thing. I don't get it. But whatever, it is what it is. Like,
Oh snap! You know what? Having a damn, you're right because it says here Grand Theft Auto Trilogy it introduces a wide ranging modern control upgrades. including improvements on to the targeting and lock on. Oh my gosh, yes. You know what? Even back then, I had so much of a difficult time with the lock on system.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, the targeting system in those games were not good. That's why I wanted them to modernize the controls.
Yeah.
If you can modernize it, then I'm all in.
Yeah, and they said, oh yeah, and this is the one that I liked when they upgraded the weapons and the radio station.
Yeah,
They would.
I just hope that they have every song that they had back then. I know there were a couple of I know they had to do a couple of updates where they actually removed some of the songs.
Mhm.
So I don't know how that's gonna work, but hopefully they don't remove stuff. That hopefully they don't remove music from the game. At least I hope not.
Yeah, and they're also adding new achievements. I'm pretty sure you knew that the whole
Mhm.
trophy system. It says according to Rockstar. Now, there's one last thing I wanted to address. How
Yeah.
do you feel? How do you feel about the respawn system? Do you know anything about? Are you familiar with that?
Um, is it the one where is this something when they said that you can restart missions from there?
Yeah, as soon as you died, you start at that point instead of actually traveling to the mission.
I'm I'm be real with you. I'm fine with that. I'm
Like
fine. I'm fine. And
okay, go ahead.
honestly, the purist in me would have a problem with it. But bro, like when you some of those missions, there are very few missions in GTA that are hard. But when you have to travel all the way there to finish a mission, that will piss you off.
Like here's the thing is I don't think that's really too much of a big deal to me. It's not. I'm not saying it's a nuisance. I'm not saying it's tedious or anything like that. But for me, you kind of remove the resistance of you really got to beat this boss or you really got to beat this mission because now it makes it a little too easy for me. It feels for me it feels more rewarding when there's more resistance. I don't know if you know what I mean.
No, you know
Now,
what you're saying.
this goes for whether if it's boss fights, whether if it's sub bosses, whatever it is. But for me, if you are able to start at the pinpoint where you had lost or where you had died or where you had failed the mission, to not you should be punished for losing. That I always like that when it comes to games. I do love the old classic ways, especially with the back in the day when you would play a Super Nintendo game or Sega game, or
Mhm.
even games where it was for PS1. When you would lose, you get severely punished for it. I actually like that. I actually would have preferred that if you died and you failed this mission, you would have had to travel all the way back and start over. I actually do like that. I
Ooh,
prefer. I honestly believe you should be punished for losing.
oh man, traveling that gets that gets very tedious. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So you're showing the extended trailer here. Like as far as like graphically, um, the environments look amazing. The
Yeah.
environments look amazing. The character models are fine. I know, like people. I know some people they're not great, but I know some people are harping over it. Like it's not that big of a deal to me. Like the most important thing to me when it comes to the collection is the controls. Because those
Yeah.
are the ones that don't age at all. Like graphically, if you rework them, they're fine. Like like GTA right now is fine. Graphically, it's fine. Like it's not groundbreaking or nothing like that, but it's fine. The most important thing is the gameplay, and the way that the gameplay is helped in these type of games is with the controls, fixing the
Mm-hmm.
controls. And I also and I also hope they keep the um the cheat codes in there also.
they're not going to do that.
I hope so. I hope so. Because those were definitely a major part of those early games. The cheat codes.
Yeah, but
They
they're
were.
not. But they're not going to do that now.
We'll see. I guess. I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. They're not going to do that now because obviously, when if you could find cheat codes, because remember, I think I actually did in the chat a while back,
mhm.
and one of the other guys had answered, no, because that's one of the ways that people could, businesses could make money,
Yeah.
whether if it's costumes or more weapons, it's it's not cost effective. Like there's no money to be made if you have cheat codes. So I'm pretty sure these developers are being forced to make sure that there's no way that you could cheat.
No, I
And besides, a lot of those times when people would find ways to cheat, they get banned from online anyway.
no. But this is just single player. This is single player. We're talking about like literally cheat codes that's been around before the advancement of online gaming. Like we're talking about regular cheat codes. That's all we're talking about.
Yeah, but even for single player, I don't think um cheat codes is available because again, I guarantee you, even for single player games, if you want to customize your character, I'm sure you have to pay for it.
I mean, they could do that, but like I said, like the cheat codes were a big part of the original games, in my opinion.
Okay, so to end this topic, I think the game is fantastic. I'm looking at this trailer along with you, and they're showing the difference. I think it's a vastly improvement. People having fingers, having better facial expressions, changing the controllers. I think overall this is a decent collection. I just don't think it's the best. Obviously, I believe the Metal Gear is the best collection of all time. But when it comes to this, my only problem is not really a big problem. But my only problem is it don't have Vice City stories in it. It don't have Liberty stories in it. Liberty City stories. I mean, any of the PS1 brands or the Chinatown. That's the first thing. And I do wish that they did not include where you could just respawn where you died. I believe that when you fail a mission, again, it's not a big deal, but I do feel more. What's the word? I have a more satisfying fulfillment when you actually have more resistance in a game. You know what I'm saying? Like I do like the enjoyment of a game being challenging, and if you die, you should be punished for it. Like I always like that ever since I was a kid. But again, it's not a big deal. It doesn't hurt the game, in my opinion. But I would have just done a couple of different things. So what's your last thing?
No, I'm just looking forward to it, man. Like it's an opportunity to replay, really three of my favorite games of all time, and like it just I'm just happy that they reworked the controls. That's the most important thing because, like I said, the controls back then, it just can't.
And one last thing, guys. Guys in the comments, let me tell you something about this guy. This dude loved Grand Theft Auto so much that whenever there was a game that was trying to emulate the Grand Theft Auto or copy, he automatically dismissed the game and hated the game. We're
You
talking
do the same thing.
we're talking
You
about.
do the
I,
same
I
thing.
remember.
You
I don't
do
know
the
if you
same
guys.
thing.
I don't know if whatever. I don't know if you guys remember this game called True Crime. He automatically dismissed the game. Automatic by default.
It's
There
not
was
Grand
an,
Theft Auto.
there was another game that was called The Getaway. Graphically way better, much more realistic, and he dismissed the game.
It's
Oh,
not
it's
Grand
not
Theft
going to
Auto.
exactly. That's the exact same line, the exact same phrase that you used back in high school. I remember this dude hated every other game that was similar to Grand Theft Auto just because it didn't have the Grand Theft Auto name on it. That's that. I mean, that's real dedicated fanboy, but also a naive one. But
But you do this. You do the same thing.
oh my goodness, heaven knows. So are you going to tell the truth and say that you did that
No,
you are you
I did
guilty?
do it. I did do it. But you do the same thing, and you
No,
do it.
you
You even do it today.
no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You want me to say it?
No, we're sticking to Grand Theft Auto right now. We're just sticking to Grand
No,
Theft Auto. Yeah,
you don't want me to say it then, do you?
we're
Cause you know
sticking to
exact. Hmm?
we know we're sticking to Grand Theft Auto. So what I'm
No, no, cause
saying.
you know, cause you know exact, cause you know exactly the game I'm gonna mention.
What I think I know
Hmm.
it's exclusively to Nintendo.
Hmm.
What is it?
You do the same thing with Smash. All
No,
right,
not
now
really.
moving on. Let's go to the NBA 75.
All right, well, but before we do, let me get out of here. Because we're moving on. I think we're doing good on time. Oh no, we're not.
No, we're doing fine. We're doing fine on time.
um. Malta said, "True crime, Streets of LA." Yes, yes, Streets of LA.
Didn't they have a New York one?
Yeah, they had the New York one, but I think the first one was the best one out of all of them. I
I
think
mean,
the first.
and you know what's funny? Even now, I do feel the same way. 'Cause I played Saints Row 3. That game is garbage, complete and utter garbage. I hate
All
that fucking game.
yeah, but they had a lot of Saints Rows though.
Okay, yeah, the only one I played was 3, and 3 was garbage. 3
Oh,
was
okay.
fucking garbage. And but have you ever played Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, I played that game. It's a very good game, but even still, at even still, I just got bored of it. I had no desire to beat the game.
Did you play did you beat the game on crap Watch Dogs?
No, no, I didn't be Watch Dog. I got bored of that too. I got bored of
Uh,
that too.
I solely remember how you was so looking forward to play that game when it was introduced on E3.
Yeah, and then the downgrades happened. The first that was really the first Ubisoft game I can remember that was visually downgraded.
Yeah, yeah, that game, and there's one more game that we're missing that you just was just not into. Oh, did you play the Scarface one?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
But even if you would have dismissed that game too, because
One hundred
you just
percent. That game did not look good. Even back then, it didn't look good.
yeah, because you only was interested in playing Grand Theft Auto, and you just did not want to give any other games a chance.
All right, and you do the same thing with Smash Brothers. So we can move on. We can move on. Okay,
First
NBA
off,
75.
I bought Sony All Stars, just so you know.
Okay. That's fine. What about the other? What about the game that just released? What's your opinion on that game?
I'm not
Even though,
interested in
even though
that
you never
crap.
played it. Of
I'm not
course,
interested in that
of
crap.
course, of course,
But
of course.
I will
Why?
be.
Why? Because
It's,
based on your word, what did you say?
it's a Smash Brothers wannabe, a
All
Smash
right.
Brothers ripoff.
Okay. So, anyway, moving on.
The Streets of LA was not a Grand Theft Auto ripoff.
Okay.
It
Moving
the
on.
fighting system was different. Obviously, the story was different, and a lot of people actually would say that he was kind of like a Jackie Chan, type of guys, which is
Okay.
I
Moving
thought the
on.
game. I thought True Crime was a very good game. The only downside of it was it was a little too short,
Hmm.
and the way how you're able to manipulate some of the mechanics in the game actually hurt the game overall. So, but
Okay.
anyway, I wanted to read this one. It said he says okay, so he helped me out. He said Sonic and the Mega Man collection came with plenty of games. You know what? I think you're right. I think the Mega Man game came with almost just about everything. Like they had the first one all the way to I think X6 or X7. And the Sonic game, I can't remember what collection the Sonic was. I know it was I know the Sonic collection was for the Sega, but I don't know if any other Sonic games was included in that. Maybe you could help me with that.
Shit, I don't know.
Um, I know you don't know. This guy's a Sonic hater and a Mario hater, just so you guys know.
Okay.
Um, and let me see if there's anything else before we move on.
Well,
It's not.
there was a game that we forgot to mention in the whole open world thing. Driver. Have you ever played Driver?
Yeah, I play Driver.
I played a little bit of it. It's a good game. It's a good game. It just I think with the first Driver, like you couldn't. I don't think you could. I think you can you can get out of your vehicle, but not
No,
that
no,
you can't do that much.
not in the first one.
Oh, the second one, right?
The second one you could move,
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
but the second one you couldn't do anything. All you could do was just go to another vehicle, and you could sit down like at patios and stuff like that in lounges. But
Hmm.
you really there was really nothing else to do when you're out your vehicle.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe Grand Theft Auto is what killed Driver, in my opinion.
Didn't Driver come out first?
Yeah, yeah, it did. But when it was announced that you were able to do more things out of the vehicle, people didn't care.
Mm,
People were actually making fun of it, saying it's not Grand Theft Auto, like how you would say.
mm. But
Automatically dismissing it.
I did like Driver though. I liked it. I liked it. But anyways, all right. So let's move on to the NBA top 75 list. All right. So
Okay, yeah. Most seems like he's ready for the for that topic. He said, read the list of 75 best players of
I
all time.
I don't, bro. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do that, man. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. He also said, let's see what players we think deserve to be on the list. and what players don't. Okay, yeah, cool, cool. All right, good stuff.
All right. Let's see. We'll do this. We'll do entire screen. Come on, pick.
Oh my bad, Moto. You had asked if Super Mario Galaxy was in 3D All Stars, would anyone have complained about the package? No, I don't think so. I
Okay.
don't think so. I think that would actually be a very good collection, in my opinion. And you also said Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, yeah, and Mario Galaxy. I don't see why they couldn't include, Super Mario Galaxy 2 on there. I mean, I guarantee you it's not going to happen soon, but I guarantee you they're probably going to make another, anniversary collection or something where they include Mario Galaxy 2 in there. Well, but we'll see. But anyway, um, go ahead, Havanel.
Okay. So I'm going to
Cheat
get.
codes, yeah,
I'm gonna get to the list of. Okay.
yeah, you're
Now
right
here.
about the cheat codes, yeah.
Okay. So here you have. Now I'm gonna give you a. All right. Since Malta wanted it, I'm going to read down the list of the top 50 players first. I'm gonna do top 50 first, and then I'm gonna do the 20 because they didn't remove anybody from the top 50. So that's a good thing. So let
Yeah.
me what I'm gonna do is I'm going to let me look for the top 50. I could have sworn I thought I had the tab open for it, but I don't, unfortunately. So NBA top 50. Let me do NBA top 50 because then I'm gonna break it down and then add the top the 25 that was added. Well, technically 26.
Oh, okay, 20, yeah, 26. Okay.
Yeah, because they did the I guess they were this was voting and there was a tie. So I'm gonna read off the names of the top 50.
Oh, you
Okay.
okay? So you're gonna read it from 1 to 50 or 50 to 1?
No, no, they're not ranked. They're not ranked. They just
Oh, okay.
50 players. All
And
right.
by the way, he said GTA 5 had cheats. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that either. I thought just like everything else nowadays you had to pay for it. But
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find that out. But my bad for reading so late. I didn't know you had asked that. But yeah, that's good to know. Appreciate it.
all right, here's the top 50. All right, you
Yeah,
have Cream. Now it's not on the screen. I'm just reading it off a different screen. All right,
yeah. Is
Kareem
it is it
Abdul.
put it on full screen if you can.
Um, let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
You have to. It's the last option where you remove my face and your face.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now,
So
I'm
now it's
now
better.
right now I'm reading the top 50. All right. So that's not on the screen, but I'm reading the top 50 right now.
It's not on the screen.
No, not on the screen right now. No.
Oh, come
But
on,
these are
dude.
no these are the top 50 because I'm not gonna argue over the top 50 like because those guys none of those guys were removed.
Yeah, yeah. But I
So,
want to see it. I want to see it.
all right, hold on. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting, in my opinion. Remember, visuals matter. Having no.
All right. Anyways, all right. So you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nate Archibald, Paul Orezen, Charles Barkley, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, David Bing, Larry Bird,
Hmm.
Walt Chamberlain, Bob Cousy, David Cohen's, Billy Cunningham, David the
I
the
don't know.
Bashir or whatever.
I don't know.
Clyde Drexler, Julius Irving, Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, George Gervin, Hal Greer, John Havlicek, Elvin Hayes, Magic Johnson, Sam Jones, Michael Jordan, Gary Lucas, Carl Malone, Moses Malone, Pete Maravich, Kevin McHale, George George Mikan, Monroe, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Robert Parrish, Bob Pettit,
Yeah, pet it.
yeah, Scottie Pippen, Willis Reed, Oscar Robinson, David Robinson, um, Bill Russell, Dolph Shades. Damn, how do you say Shades? I think
I
Bill
don't know.
Bill Sharman, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Nate Thurman, Wes Unseld, Bill Walton, Jerry West, Lenny Wilkins, and James Worthy.
Yeah,
Right. So those are your top 50. All those guys are in the top 75. Okay, all those guys are in the top 75.
yeah,
Now here are the 26 guys that they added to that list for the 75th anniversary.
correct.
All right. All right. So you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Paul, Ray Allen, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, um, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Jason Kidd, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Bob McAdoo, Reggie Miller, Gary Payton, Paul Pierce, Dennis Rodman, Dwayne Wade, shout out to my boy Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook, and Dominique Wilkins. So those are technically the 26 players that they added.
Yeah,
Now,
yes.
now of the names on here, the guys that I'm surprised wasn't on the top 50 was um was Dominique Wilkins. I
Me
was
too.
I was stunned that he wasn't on the top 50. Like when I
Agreed.
yeah, when I read it I was stunned. Um and honestly, obviously I know that Reggie Miller was your favorite player growing up, right? You always had arguments, and I would always like slander Reggie Miller or whatever. But that a lot of people don't put respect on that dude's name.
I noticed.
Yeah, people
Oh,
don't put a lot.
get rid of that thing at the bottom that says hide sharing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. A lot of people don't put respect on that dude's name. One of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time. Every time he would come off a screen and and he caught the ball, like you were always scared that he was gonna make the shot.
Yes.
Dude was a baller, a certified baller, and there's no coincidence that the better he got, the better that the Indiana Pacers team got. There's a reason why that team was always competitive every single year because they had that dude. Because
Yeah.
they had that dude. People don't put a lot of respect on his name. That dude was a baller.
Yeah, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they never missed the playoffs when
You
he
know what?
went
That
to
could
when
yeah,
he went to
that could have
Indiana.
been yeah, that could have been the case. Because the funny thing is, like, one of the cool things about like watching, like, I like watching periodically old basketball games, like especially like playoff games.
Yeah.
And the guy who was supposed to be like the star on that Indiana Pacers team early on was supposed to be, I think Chuck Persons.
Persons, yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the guy who was supposed to be the number one guy.
Yeah, he's the center, I believe.
No, 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 no. He was a a small forward.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, I'm getting him mixed up with Rick Smith. My bad.
No,
My
no, no,
bad.
no. Like,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Like Chuck Person was, but obviously, I don't know what his career. But like,
Your audio went out.
okay, yeah. Well, obviously, Reggie Miller became the franchise of that team.
Yes.
So yeah, so yeah, no. So I'm happy that Reggie's on the list. I'm happy that Dominic Wilkins is on the list. Obviously, Dwayne Wade should be on there. I'm actually happy that Dennis Rodman is on there too. I'm happy Dennis Rodman is on there because
Hmm.
the way his ability to rebound for a guy who wasn't the biggest guy in the world in the land of giants, that's pretty impressive. And like you said, you have a lot of contemporaries on there. Now, I read the list. Who, like, Steve? Like, let me know what do you
Okay.
who? Hold on. I'm gonna put it back up in a second. All right. Let me just
Yeah.
Who do you think should be? Oh shit. Let me read. Oh, actually, hold on a second. I know I had the tab. I had the tab on here.
Yeah.
There had to be a snub list. Where's the snub list? Damn, they don't have. Yeah, they don't have it on here. They don't have the snub list. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Because there are definitely some people who didn't make the list that was eyebrow raising.
Yeah,
And
for me too.
yeah,
I actually have a few guys. I have quite a few
okay.
of people that's not on that list. I'm not saying this isn't a bad list. No, this
Yeah,
is
no,
still
yeah,
a
this is a great
fantastic
list,
list.
but like it's a hard list to make. It's a hard list to make, but there definitely were snubs that I wanted to you know address.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
same here, same here. I'm just I am really surprised that this person is not on the list. Oh my gosh.
So I can get rid of these goddamn ads. Close. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start sharing, and then I hopefully this site has it. So okay, one second. There you go. All right, I'm about to go on there right now.
All right.
Okay, is it? No, wrong one. Okay, where's the list?
You had it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. Hold on. Hopefully they
But
show one guy there.
all right, but while you're looking for the list, I might as well say something to keep this entertaining, to keep this going. Um, I just have a quick comment while you're looking for the
Mhm.
thing.
All right, so I
I
got.
I have never seen this many drama in the beginning of the season in my life.
Hmm.
I have never seen this much. I mean, we are talking about obviously the situation with Kyrie Irving, and now we have I don't know if you heard about people protesting. Was
Hmm.
protesting outside saying play Kyrie, play Kyrie.
Yeah.
Obviously the same thing with Ben Simmons, but the opposite. The crowd is booing him and cursing him out.
Hmm.
We have the situation with Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. The drama that they were
Yeah, people,
having.
people, people don't like Dwight Howard. Like that's the one conclusion that you can come up with. People don't like that dude.
That, like, I never understood why people don't like him. He's a little like a goofy guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some people aren't. Some people aren't into that. Some people are into it. I know when in the beginning of his career, he was preaching about religion and all this other bullshit, and then come to find out this dude had multiple baby mamas.
That I
So
didn't even know about.
yeah, so they look at him as a phony. That's what I think a lot of the dislike for him is. Now, but speaking of Dwight Howard, a lot of people think that he should be on the 75 list.
He was actually one of the guys on my list.
Yeah, so I it's hard to argue because people don't remember, man. Like the people may forget that at one point in time there was an argument to be made about who was the better player, LeBron or Dwight.
Yeah, I
People don't
agree.
forget. People forget that because he's not the same player he was, but dude was like they said here, three-time defensive player of the year. Like dude was amazing in his prime.
Yeah,
He was amazing in his prime. So and this is the one that I think should be on the list. I don't care who you take out, but he has to be on the list.
I
Vince
think I
Carter.
think I think I think I know who you're gonna say. Who he said?
Vince Carter.
Oh, I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, he's not on the list. That makes no sense to me.
I completely forgot about him.
That
Oh
makes no
snap!
sense to me because it based on purely his longevity, he should be on the list. But even with that, he was at the time he was a dynamic scorer, one of the greatest dunkers we've ever seen. Right? He was a prolific scorer, and it's like I don't get it.
Well, you know what I think.
Hmm.
I honestly believe that you're right. He is a great dunker. He's a great scorer.
Hmm.
Um,
He was
I,
good.
I
He was an elite player for a long time.
Yeah, and I remember at the time people were arguing like who was what he was a shooting guard, right? Or was he a small forward?
Uh, I- he came off as a shooting guard to me.
Yeah, there were arguments because you at the time. I know the biggest shooting guards at the time was either him, Kobe Bryant, and Tracy McGrady. Well, I think Tracy McGrady was a small forward, I think, but like he was always in discussion of one of the as far as who's the better player or a great scorer. He was obviously in discussion every single time.
Yeah, yeah, like that dude was a that dude was awesome, and I'm surprised he didn't make the 75.
But here's what I will say though.
Hmm.
To me, I am shocked, but to me, I feel like he's being punished. I understand about longevity. I understand about tenure. I get
Hmm.
it, but I honestly believe that because he didn't really care so much about winning,
No,
that
no,
probably
no,
hurt
no,
him.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that today.
That's what they were saying. The people were saying they viewed him as somebody who did not care about winning. That he did not that he
Based
did
on
not
what?
the fact that for example, like when he was, I noticed, and I forgot who, I think Stephen A said this,
Hmm.
where he would say he doesn't understand why Vince Carter is going to these crappy teams. Why isn't he going to teams where he could finally win a championship
Hmm.
to probably enhance his legacy? But he never cared about that. He never cared about going to a contending team to win a championship. When you have a track record of going to bad team after bad team after bad team when you are a free agent, that I mean that's a good example of somebody who doesn't care about winning.
I I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can justify that. I don't know if I can do. I like again.
So
I
you
can't.
think he cared about winning?
Yeah, I do. Like, why would I not? Why would I not think otherwise?
I don't know, dude. I don't think Vince Carter really cared about winning a championship that much. I think he only really just cared about playing basketball, but not having a care in the world if you won or not. He,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, give me reasons why you think that he does care about winning. Then, like, what are the
I
reasons?
mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know Vince Carter, but like, like I just think that when you are someone who put your livelihood into a sport, that you're doing it for a reason. Maybe they're just doing it to make money. That's probably that could probably be it. And I think that's what most NBA play, most people in general do it for. They do it for the money, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But like to me, I don't know. I just don't like putting that he doesn't care about winning label on guys when I don't know. Like I don't know them personally. I don't know what they've done or whatever to prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I you didn't really see much emotion. You didn't see him talk about trying to win a championship. Which is why when someone say, "Oh, I believe Vince Carter didn't really care about winning," I mean, I don't think they're being hyperbolic about it. I really don't think so. Like, I think it's a you know accurate statement because the whole gist of the argument of him not wanting to win a championship is basically because he didn't really showcase anything about how winning a championship meant to him. He never talked about it.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't know if he talked about it.
Well, I mean, I don't think he has. He never talked about it, and I think he tried to justify when somebody had asked him, you never go to a championship contending team when you're a free agent, and he didn't say verbatim that that's not what he cared about, but all he basically said, he just wants to play basketball.
Hmm.
So that tells me that you don't care about winning. You just want to play a game that you like, which is fine. If you just want to go and just play basketball, do what you like, which is why he stayed there for such a long time. Wasn't like what 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, like yeah, like basically 20 years. Because he was drafted what 2000 was it? Didn't he? Or 1999?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But like,
Okay.
maybe he didn't want to. I guess he didn't want to chase rings. I guess. I mean, it's funny that we criticize Kevin Durant for chasing rings, but We criticize Vince Carter for not chasing rings. That don't make no sense to me.
Don't even start with that.
No,
Not,
no, 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 no. Like I'm just making an observation. I'm just making an observation because we criticize Kevin Durant for chasing rings, and yet we're criticizing Vince Carter for not chasing rings.
the thing with Kevin Durant, we already been through this already. Is that he went to a championship team where
They
he
didn't
would
win a
win by
championship that
default.
year. He didn't win a championship that year.
They did win a champion. When he went to Golden State, they
Not
won.
that year. The year that he went, they didn't win the previous year.
Yeah, but they were still a championship team
Okay,
though.
you can't be a championship team if you don't win a championship that year.
You are a championship team, a championship contender.
Mm-mm,
When you
mm-mm.
when you
We
when you have a
listen.
when you have a roster like that,
Mm-mm,
you are a
mm-mm,
championship team.
mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But like we're just gonna rehash the same argument. But okay, if you that's what you feel, that's what you feel. All right. Another person on the list was Clay Thompson.
Oh man, like you. I think you and I probably have the same list.
Yeah,
Yeah, I felt the same way. Go ahead.
I think he. No, this is not my. I'm just reading this off the art. I'm just reading this off the article.
Oh, okay. I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Or let
But
me
yeah,
go
but
back
Clay
to it.
Thompson was omitted from this list. I would. I think when you really think about it, if Steph Curry's on the list, then Clay Thompson should be on the list as well.
Okay.
Because just like Pippen, right? If you're going to put if like obviously Michael Jordan was going to be on the list no matter what, but you can't ignore the second best player on that team and not be on the list, especially when he can do a lot of the same things plus defend. So if Scottie Pippen can be on the list, there's no way that Klay Thompson can't be on the list.
Hmm. Who's hold on. Somebody said lose the black on the show and maybe I'll watch.
Huh?
What does that mean?
I don't give a shit. Who cares? Good,
Oh,
continue.
I thought that was somebody that you knew.
I don't know who this guy is, and I don't know if it's someone that's trolling or someone joking, but I don't
Okay.
give a shit.
Well,
Continue.
let me just say this one thing. Whoever you
Thank
are,
you for watching. FYI, I don't give a shit, but thank you for watching. Continue.
whoever you are, contextual MD, when you say lose the black on the show and maybe I'll watch, like you have to like give at least an explanation of what that means. I'm not really sure what that means, but forgive me, for not knowing. But I mean, look, I'm always in for suggestions, but just let me know what's going on because it's kind of ironic because I actually was asking suggestions in the chat earlier. But anyway, um, Malta said could Vince Carter could have joined a contending team late in his career, but he said he didn't want a free chipper. Yeah. You see, yeah. He basically he did say something similar to that, where he felt like he didn't want to, ring chase, and
Yeah, that's what I said. Like
it would,
he probably didn't want to ring chase. Like
yeah. But at the end of the day, though, he's like late in his career. Like, do you believe when Kevin Garnett finally won his ring that you think it diminished or showed less respect for his ring?
Garnett.
Yeah.
No, because he wasn't. No, because like he was the best player on those Boston teams. He was the best player on that team. So like to build a championship. That's what they did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The guy's trolling. He said it's easy. You're black, so get off the show and let's let the Mexican talk. Okay.
Um. Um. I gotta go on the YouTube actual YouTube. Hold on a second. Continue. You can Steve. You can continue.
Yeah. So yeah. Read it. I don't know. Maybe you could interpret it better for me, but I think
Read what? Interpret what? I'm not interpreting shit. He's getting blocked. So that's what I'm doing. So, anyways,
No, I'm not gonna let that bother me. We're gonna have haters eventually. I didn't think it would be this soon, but it is what it is. But yeah, Malta. Uh, I see what Vince Carter is saying, but I honestly believe that late in his career, he should have known. He should have known that he was not going to win a championship by going to garbage teams. Common sense should have told him that. At least go to a contending team. Not I'm not saying go with LeBron or go to Golden State or anything like that, but at least go to a team where you could at least compete for a title. At least compete. But he's going to non-playoff teams, and it's just like, come on, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't you wanna win at least one ring? But he just wasn't interested in doing that, which is unfortunate in my opinion.
All right. So and then the
Now,
only yeah, go ahead.
um, there was one person that I really wanted to mention him.
Mm-hmm.
You might disagree with me because I don't even think he's on that list that you're talking about.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to. I'm surprised that Chris Bosh is not on the list.
You know what? I agree with you, but I think what happened with him is I think the him having to retire early I think hurt him.
Yeah, but he still won 3 championships, and he wasn't just going for a joyride.
Technically two. He won two
Oh
championships.
yeah, my bad, my bad. I'm thinking about yeah, I'm thinking about Dwayne. I was thinking about Dwayne Wade. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, he won 2 championships, and I'm saying to myself, man, uh, wait, Malta said he's not a top 75 player. Uh, Having a, would you consider him isn't he a Hall of Famer? Do you?
Oh, yeah, he's already in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you can argue if he's not a top 75 player, that's fine, but because I don't know, it's hard to say. I think that we didn't get to see his best work because of the illness. I think that's what hurt him. I think this him not being able to play because of his illness. I think it hurt him. I
Yeah,
think the same thing happened with the same thing. Hold on, you hear me?
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Grant Hill. Like Grant Hill, if he didn't have those ankle injuries, he would have been on that list, like straight up.
Agreed, agreed.
That dude was awesome. And another play, I think Penny Hardaway the same way. If he hadn't started getting hurt, he would have been a top 75 player also.
Yeah, and Malta, my bad. Like I was on the full screen and I couldn't see the comments at all. So my humble apologies for that. Because I do like involving everybody whoever's in the chat. But he said Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, Damian Leonard, and Reggie Miller should not have made it, in my opinion. Okay, Heaven, I don't know if you read that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing.
Let me look it up. Let me look it.
He said Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, Damian Leonard, and Reggie Miller should not have made it. In his opinion,
Mm-hmm.
for me, Allen Iverson, Reggie Miller, yeah, Damian Leonard, and Ray Allen. All of those guys were a huge contributor when it comes to making their team relevant. Those guys were box office. Those guys were obviously excellent shooters. Those guys were electrifying, and with the exception of Allen Iverson, I think all those guys were great leaders, and they all obviously they had really great skill set. I know Having wants to talk about Reggie Miller's defense and all that, make fun of his defense and whatnot.
No,
But
he wasn't much of a defender, but like you continue what you're gonna say, and then I have my response to it.
okay, so I believe all of those guys absolutely deserve to be on that list, especially Ray Allen, because out of the guys that you named, he's the only one with two championship rings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was a huge piece why he won a championship, why that team won a championship. Boston's not winning a championship without Ray Allen. Now, you could say Miami would have won a championship without him anyway. You could probably say that. But I think he was still a huge contributor of them winning that chip, in my opinion.
Okay.
And it's because of him why the Bucks was relevant. Who else did he play for? Then he played for the
Supersonics.
Supersonics. Yeah, when he played for the Supersonics, this guy was a sharpshooter. A sharpshooter. The only person that broke his record was Steph Curry, or I think it was Klay Thompson, one of those guys. when it comes to 3-point shooting, all that stuff counts for something. You know what I mean? When you make it to a list of whether it's the best, like let's say you got the most rebounds or you got the most 3-point shooting, you got the most steals or whatever. I believe that counts for something. You know,
I I,
he
I agree with that.
he has a skill where almost nobody else in the entire league can duplicate.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that yeah, he should be on that list. But what were you going to say?
Okay, my response to what Malta said, right? And I respect his opinion. But here's the thing: when it comes to basketball, right? Basketball is the only sport of the four major sports where one player can make a difference. Now, I'm not saying that one player can help you win a championship, but if you can have a franchise be consistently good for a long time, or at least if you can be someone who can galvanize a team to a championship, and you can sustain any type of real longevity, you're a top player in my opinion. So let's look at Ray Allen. Ray Allen was a vital part of those championship teams for Boston. Like I
Yes.
said, he was very good. He was very good in Milwaukee. He was very good in Seattle,
Yes.
and he made the biggest shot in NBA Finals history
History.
with the
Yes, I
Miami
agree.
with the Miami Heat. Right?
Absolutely.
In my opinion, he's a Hall of Famer, and he's a top 75 player in my opinion. Top 75. I
Yes.
think he deserved to be on the list.
Yes.
There is no question about Allen Iverson. And look, I'm not the biggest Allen Iverson fan either. Like I'm not here to gloat over Allen Iverson's accomplishments. But that year, I think it was 2000, when he brought that team to the NBA title, to the NBA championship when they lost to the Lakers, who were far superior than they were. Right? For him to bring that team, carry them on their back to win a championship, that means something to me. That means something to a lot of people. People love the way this dude played. He had a heart of a champion. He embodied what that Philadelphia Sixers team was at the time,
Yeah.
right? Plus, if you look at his numbers, are what they are. He was one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. It is what it is. So there's no question about Allen Iverson. I can hear someone on the Damian Lillard front, but I believe when his career is over, he will be among the greatest point guards of all time. And right now, I can say this confidently. He's definitely top five right now. You know what I mean?
As far as in the league?
Yeah, as far as point guards in the league.
Oh, point guards. Okay.
And honestly, when you look at the difference between Damian Lillard and Steph Curry, the only difference is that Steph Curry's on a better team. That's it. He can do everything Steph Curry can do. The only difference is Steph Curry has a better team around him.
No, I think Steph Curry is a much better ball handler and a much better finisher to the rim.
Maybe, but like
No, no,
they're
true. I'm telling you.
no. I isn't what Westbrook's on the list. Westbrook is on the list. I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
Westbrook.
he is.
Yeah, Westbrook is on there. And personally, I think Lillard is better than Westbrook. But that's just my opinion. Um,
Yeah, I think you're right. But here's the thing, though. I honestly believe if Damian Lillard was on that OKC team, they would have not good. They would not have be a playoff team.
why
If
not?
if Damian Lillard went to Washington, I don't think they go to the playoffs either.
I don't buy that. I don't know if I buy that. You
I
know what
don't
I
I
mean?
don't I don't I don't think so. I think
It
he's
is what it is.
obviously better when it comes to shooting, but
Mhm.
as an overall player, I would probably have to go to Westbrook. I think.
I guess, but like right now, when you look at which guy is better right now, it's Lillard by a country mile.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
It's Lillard by a country mile, and Westbrook, he's fine. Like he's a good player. He does deserve to be on the list because you can't average a triple double. You can't do something that hasn't been done in 30, 40 years and not be and not make this list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's no longer a top 10 player anymore.
No, it's fine. Like it's all he has to do is be productive right now. All he has to do is be productive, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But to me, Lillard is a better player.
I
And
agree.
so it is what it is. So And then what the last person he mentioned?
Reggie Miller.
Oh, come on, like Reggie. Like, look, if your team has been relevant for 20 plus years when you've been there, you not only are you a Hall of Famer, but in my opinion, you're a top 75 player. Like you said, if you have a skill that, cause remember, back in the old days of the NBA, guys shot three, but not as much.
Yeah.
But they always had like every team had at least one 3 point specialist. But those 3 point specialists weren't exactly all stars, were they?
Hmm.
No,
No.
no. They were guys who did one thing really well, was shoot the three.
Spot up shooters. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Reggie Miller was that and more. That's why he was a multi-time All Star, and that's why he led his team to multiple he led them to an NBA Finals, and he would have led them to more if it wasn't for the Malice in the Palace.
Yeah.
That
Oh
Indiana
my
that
gosh.
Indiana
Yeah.
that Indiana Pacers team was a championship caliber team
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the Malice in the Palace. I'm telling you guys this. I'm telling you, those guys, that team, they lost to Detroit the previous year, who were the champions, and I'm telling you, they would have gone to the NBA Finals at the very least if it wasn't for that.
I agree.
So
I agree.
like to me, like players like Reggie Miller, like those guys are special players, and like I said earlier, like guys like him don't get the respect that they deserve. They don't. Now, is there a player you would remove? Because I,
Um.
I have I have I have one player that I would absolutely remove right now.
Okay, you go first. Oh,
Okay. Hmm.
before you do, he said Ray Allen maybe top 75. He was more than just a shooter prior to Celtics and two-time champion, as well as one of the most clutch shots in NBA. Oh yeah. Having not said that, yeah, one of the most clutch shots in NBA history, and also wanted to add, I don't think I think he had a very decent defense too. I think he was a decent defender also.
Ooh.
Ray Allen.
I guess I don't know, but like
Yeah, I think he was a decent defender.
but Multa said Reggie Miller was great, but over Klay Thompson and Dwight Howard. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Like I definitely would put Klay Thompson above Reggie Miller, but
The reason why I wouldn't is
mhm.
because I believe that to me, Clay Thompson would be an elite player, but the problem is, although he could shoot nearly almost as good as Steph Curry, he really doesn't handle the ball well. He's not really a good you know ball handler when it
No,
comes to dribbling.
he's a shooter. Like and he's also a shooter who plays great defense. I think Klay Thompson should be on this list. I do. I do think he should be on the list, but I don't think Reggie Miller should be removed because of it. Dwight Howard, I don't know about Dwight. Like I think when you think about centers, I think the numbers, I think his numbers justify him being on the list. But who would I remove? Do I think he should be in the pantheon of great centers like Akeem or Patrick or Shaquille O'Neal? Do I look at him in the same way? Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't. You know what I mean? Like, but but I mean, if he was on the list, I wouldn't have an argument for it. But all right, so
And he
okay.
also he also mentioned Dennis Rodman. Man, we missed a
No, no,
lot.
no, no. Yeah, yeah. Dennis Rodman should be on here. Like
Yeah,
Dennis
he's
Rodman should be on there because he was a vital member of those Piston teams, and he was a vital member of the Bulls championship teams.
oh yeah.
Like there you can't trust me. Like even though he wasn't much of a scorer,
Oh,
his
you
his
went out.
re okay. Like even though you can hear me,
Yeah.
okay. Even though he wasn't much of a scorer, defensively and when it comes to rebounds, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. And for a guy who is 6'6" to be that guy, come on. Come on.
Yeah, you have guys who are a lot taller than you, and you're still able to out rebound every single one of them. So
Out rebound them, get in their heads. Like that dude was a big deal. Like he was.
yeah, Yeah,
Eh,
he mentioned Allen Iverson with no chip, Vince Carter with no chip,
mm.
and again, I do understand where you're coming from, but those guys were still as especially Allen Iverson, that dude changed the whole culture in the NBA. With
and
the
I and I
whole
and I do think that matters. I do think stuff like that matters.
yeah
The impact that you have, because when you think about shoes, right? When you think about signature shoes, obviously number one is Jordan,
yeah
but who would be number two?
yeah Allen Iverson.
I think his shoes are as iconic as Jordan. Not as iconic, but it's number two.
Yeah, it matters. Yeah, yeah, it matters.
Trust me. Every time an AI shoes came out, people wanted to get them big time,
Yeah.
big time. Like trust me, like it matters. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, go
Let's get.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to catch up
Mhm.
on the stuff because he also mentioned Vince Carter could have joined a contending team late, but yeah,
Yeah,
we
no,
already
no, I
read
know,
that
I know, I
one.
know, I know, I know, I
But
know.
yeah, all right. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, the person who I would have removed from this list.
Okay.
'Cause I'm not going to remove anyone from the top 50 because that's top 50. But the guys who were added on here, the only player that I would definitely remove is Paul Pierce.
Whoa! What?
Paul Pierce.
You remove Paul Pierce?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
You remove Paul Pierce. Um. Hmm. Let me think. Why? I need to know why.
I don't think he's as good without those that Boston run. I think he's a very good player. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame player, or I don't think he's a top 75 player without that Boston run.
Without that Boston run. Okay.
Yeah, where Garnett and when Garnett and Allen pretty much came to his rescue in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that team was very inconsistent when he was part of of a duo with him and Antoine Walker, right? Like in a week, in that time, the Eastern Conference was very weak, right? During that time, right? And you had two guys who were very good players. Like obviously Paul Pierce was their best player. Antoine Walker was number two. They should have been so much better than they were during that time.
Okay.
And I know there was a spell where Pierce got stabbed, and I know he missed some time, but I don't think he's as good as I don't think he's as good as his resume without that Boston run, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I wouldn't put him above Clay. I wouldn't put him above Dwight. Um, yeah, I wouldn't put him above those players.
Okay.
All right, so he said that he's one of the top five clutchest players ever. Like, I mean, I don't think he's as clutch as Reggie Miller. As
He,
clutch as like
yeah.
I like I no, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay. So now let me get this straight now, having now.
Hmm.
You said you don't think Paul
And
Pierce.
he's not on the same level as Russell and Larry Bird. Not even close. That's disrespectful to those players.
Okay.
Because Larry Bird and even when he was a rookie, they were one of the best teams in the league. Paul Pierce ain't do shit until Kevin Garnett came to that team. I'm just being honest. Like he ain't do nothing until Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett came to that team.
Okay. Now, do you believe that both? Well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna say Kevin Garnett. Yes. So you think Ray Allen is also better?
Then Paul Pierce?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You sure it's not because of the crazy rivalry he had with the Heat? No,
No,
that has
look.
nothing to do with it.
No, listen. There are players that I don't like Dennis Rodman, but I can acknowledge his greatness.
No. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's lots of players I don't like, but I can acknowledge their greatness.
Okay. 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 So who would you replace him with?
I would replace him with. with I do think if there's one player that got snubbed, it's Klay Thompson. I think a
Right.
lot of people undervalue his effect on the team, on the Warriors teams, on those Warriors teams. And I do think that his injuries has hurt him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And well, oh man, that's not good. But I do think it's hurt him a little bit. But like I think that if you, I do think Klay Thompson should be on that list over Paul Pierce.
Over Paul Pierce. Is there
Hmm.
anybody else before I give you my list?
Mm, I think I have an idea who you're going to pick, who you want to be removed.
Oh, all
I
right.
think I have an idea.
All right. All right.
But all right, but let me address Malta because he's coming back at me. He said that Ray Allen didn't do shit until he joined Paul Pierce. He got traded to Boston. He didn't go there. I don't think he went there willingly. But he does make a point. But I believe Ray Allen is a better player than Paul Pierce. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But he is right. Like Ray Allen didn't do anything until he joined Paul Pierce, so he's right. I'm not gonna apologize, but but
Yeah.
I can acknowledge if I can acknowledge if you're right,
No,
even though I even
Malta,
though I
Malta,
still
Malta,
think
Malta, Malta. Don't buy his BS. Every time when I'm right about something, he never wants to admit it.
no, you always
Never,
think you're right about something.
never.
You think every argument we have, you're right about something.
Every time when there's an argument, he never wants to apologize or say, "Oh, Steve, you're right." He'll just say, "Oh, whatever," and then just brush it off. That's what he'll do.
Okay, all right, but go ahead. Who would you remove? I know exactly who you're gonna say.
All right, no, I want to see if you're right. Who is it?
Anthony Davis. All right.
Eh, okay, this is going to come to a shock to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually three guys I want to remove.
Oh, for real, three guys.
Yeah,
Okay, let me see this because you're treading on dangerous territory here.
yeah. There's three guys. So Malta, get ready. I guarantee both of you will disagree with me. But here we go. Right,
Hmm.
I would remove Anthony Davis,
Okay, I was right
and
about that one.
I remove Anthony Davis, and I
Hmm.
would replace him with Klay Thompson.
Okay.
All right, we're talking about a guy who has multiple rings. We're talking about a guy who I think two. I can't remember how many times he was defensive all team,
Well, I mean, Davis has four defensive all team.
and how many does Klay Thompson? Doesn't he has like how many does he have?
Let me see.
Um, yeah, look for me because I'm writing down my list
Let me see.
because I remember that one
Mm,
year he got ripped off. He got screwed over.
it doesn't say it here. It doesn't say it here, but he's
But that
obviously what.
that
Yeah.
that dude, I don't know anybody else with the exception of Patrick Beverly and Kawhi Leonard that could guard and put that person on lock than Klay Thompson.
Beverly's a very overrated defender.
What? Dude, that dude, I never seen so many clutch stops. That's what I'm going to call it. Clutch stops. I've never seen anybody that has as many as Patrick Beverly.
He's overrated as a defender, in my opinion.
What then how is it that he's always in defensive team? How is it how's that possible?
No, guys get that based on reputation too. So LeBron James should have easily been a defensive player of the year winner if it wasn't for Tyson Chandler, who they gave that basically just off of reputation.
Jackson Child was an outstanding defender, but
Yeah, it's fine,
anyway,
but nobody guarded like I'm telling you that locked out that shortened season. That was one of LeBron's best seasons defensively. Guarded
I
one through
agree.
five, and they just gave it to Tyson Chandler because of reputation. That's it.
Yeah, Tyson Chandler is one of those other guys that I'm disappointed with the athleticism that he's constantly able to showcase. That dude would have been an elite basketball player if he ever tried to work on his offense, but he never did. He always he's doing basically what Russell Westbrook is doing now. He counting on his athleticism, but not develop any other new skills as far as shooting the ball and stuff like that. But
I
anyway,
mean, he's a poor man's Dwight Howard in his prime. He's a poor man's
um,
Dwight Howard.
Tyson Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay. So yeah. So Anthony Davis,
Mm-hmm.
and I replace him with Klay Thompson. Tell me how you feel about that first.
I look. I think Anthony Davis has the skill level to be on that list. I think they put him in there for future reference also. Like I think if you look at the top 50 list, they put Shaquille O'Neal on the top 50, and he didn't really do much of anything, but they saw that he was going to be a big deal, and he was already obviously he was a great player. They just kind of projected that he was going to be even greater as his career went on. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think yeah, that's why I think he was on, and I think that's why Anthony Davis is on the list as well. But like I said, if you read his accomplishments, like he has the accomplishment: champion, four-time All NBA, eight-time All Star. He led the league in blocking three times. Like he has the
Oh, he
resume.
did
Yeah,
3 times.
yeah. I mean, you didn't know about that because he played in New Orleans, which is an irrelevant franchise, unfortunately.
And I was really hoping that franchise would, win Zion. I thought that franchise was going to go up and running, but Zion just can't stay healthy, man.
Nope. And there's some chatter about what's going on with him and the management, so that's not good.
Oh, before I give you the next person,
Hmm.
tell me about that. What happened?
Pretty much they disagree on the timetable of their injury of his injury. And when that happens, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign.
Oh,
That's exactly what happened with Kawhi Leonard.
yes,
And apparently he has people in his ear that that telling him stuff too. So that's definitely not good. So if you're in New Orleans, you better be careful, man, because you don't want to lose Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson back to back like that. You don't want to do that.
agreed.
So all right, go ahead. Who's your second person?
Okay, you are going to go extremely crazy with this one,
Hmm.
and if you do, I won't blame you. Having I'm telling
I
you,
swear to
and
I swear to I swear to everything that you better not say Dwayne Wade. I swear to God. I swear
oh,
to God.
no,
You better not say it. You better not say Dwayne Wade.
no. It's not doing Wade. It's not doing
Okay.
Wade. It's not.
Okay.
But this was actually one of the hardest decision I had to make because I have to put this dude on the list. I have to. Like I had to. I was looking at the list and I said to myself, dude, I have to put this guy in. And I cannot believe he's not in. I had to remove I have to remove Gary Payton.
Are you serious?
Let me finish. Let me finish.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
And then I could get your reaction and multi reaction later. I have to put Gary Payton and I have to put in Tony Parker. I have to put him in. I'm sorry. I got to put Tony Parker in. And listen, I
Mm,
understand. I completely understand.
mm,
Listen, I know you're going to sound crazy. I completely understand about Gary Payton, but Tony Parker has the rings. He was also a very good defender.
no, he was not Gary Payton good. Not Gary Payton good.
His was fine.
Not Gary Payton good. Like
And he won Finals MVP. He won Finals MVP. Winning that Finals MVP, in my opinion, absolutely made him a superstar. In my opinion, he was a superstar even beforehand, but that completely solidified and put the basically a stamp in the envelope that dude was absolutely a superstar. And winning that Finals MVP, I have to put him on that list. This dude, with the exception of Tim Duncan, is is the primary reason why those championships were won. And you could say you could include Manu Ginobili. Or yeah, you could include him also. But Tony Parker, that dude was completely clutch, and that dude made big time shots in those championship runs. I
okay.
have to, and look, having though,
Hmm.
Gary Payton is amazing, but I
Hmm.
have to put Tony Parker in. I have to put him in.
Okay. Listen, it's
Start over because I
okay.
really want to hear everything that you have to say everything you have to say. Go
Look,
ahead.
I don't think you're crazy. You hear me?
Yeah.
I don't think you're crazy. And I think that if there was a top 100, Tony Parker has to be on there. Easy. Tony Parker has to be on there easy. If they had the next 10, let's say they did 85, I would put Tony Parker on there.
No, I honestly believe you forgot about him. That's what I think.
No, I did. I ain't gonna lie, I did. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I did. But me personally, I can't take Gary Payton off. I can't. He was very good for a long time, right? And I think defensively, he's one of the great defenders of all time. Let me look at his resume. Let's look at Gary Payton's resume.
Whatever you bring up, it's not going to be better than Tony Parker's. He has the rings. He has the rings.
No, I understand that. I understand that. Like, but honestly, like the guy who I I don't know, man. Like I can't. I don't know if I can put. Um, I don't know if I can take him out. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Gary Payton, NBA champion with the Heat. Shout out to him. 9-time All Star, 9-time All NBA, 9-time All Defensive Team. He won Defensive Player of the Year in '95. In '95.
Mm-hmm.
You
You
know
really
what I mean?
are you able to show the stats? Let me see it. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch the. I'm gonna have to switch the tab. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And you can just go back to the tab
Okay. Let me see.
because as you reading the list, I might change my mind, but I think it's going to stick. But go ahead.
Okay.
And Malta said Gary Payton is definitely top 75 player. And look, Malta, I hear exactly what you're saying, but I had to look for somebody to remove because, to me, in my opinion, not having Tony Parker on that list is unacceptable to me. Is unacceptable to me. You could easily say that it's equivalent to Dennis Rodman. Like he wasn't. He obviously the primary players was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. But to me, when it comes to San Antonio, it was Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
Well, Mono was a big part of that team too.
Yeah, but Tony Parker was the starter though at all times.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mono was off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, because I know you was going because you were like what, and I'm pretty sure Malta probably had his eyes popping out. But again, I had to include Tony Parker. Somebody had to come.
Oh, look. I think Tony Parker is in the discussion for a top 100 list.
Oh
I
man,
don't.
that
I
is so
don't.
far back.
No. It's not. But I don't know if I would put him above Gary Payton. Like Gary Payton was the truth. Like being a guy that small, being Defensive Player of the Year. That's not nothing. That's not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not nothing. So, all right, well, go ahead. Who's the last person? Who's the
No,
last
no,
one?
no. I wanted you to finish the stats about Gary Payton.
Oh, no, yeah, no, okay, I read it. Like you said, like 9-time All Star, 9-time All NBA, 9-time All Defensive Team. He won Defensive Player of the Year in '95, '96. He led the league in steals that year. He's also 10th all time in assists, 4th all time in steals. Like, bro, like, bro, like, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, my guy. And as good as Tony Parker is, and I agree with you that he's awesome. Like, there's no
And
denying that.
not only that, you constantly hammered in my head for years, having no
Look at these
years.
numbers. Look at the
You
achievements. Go
always
ahead. Go
you
ahead.
always told me for years
Hmm.
how important playoffs is more important than regular season. You always told me that.
I agree.
You always
I
told me that.
agree. But when
And
you look,
and Tony
but you look
Parker
at,
delivered every single time in the playoffs.
no, I agree with you there. Like I agree with you there. But the thing is that how much is all that made easier playing with Tim Duncan? Like that's not a small thing.
I
That's
mean,
not a small thing.
you can say the same thing with Dennis Rodman.
No, no,
Yeah.
No, like no, we're not talking about scoring here.
Okay. Oh, you talking about something else?
Yeah, like stuff that you can do on any team, no matter what. Like and get like being defensive player of the year in that during that time. That's not a small feat. That's not small.
Mm-hmm.
Like tenth all time in assists, fourth all time in steals. Like bro, like that's not small. That's not a small feat, man. Like
Mm,
he was the definitive two-way point guard.
you know what? I could, dude. I'm gonna have to put him back in because I completely forgot that he was defensive player of the year.
I'm telling you, man. That's a award that's only reserved for big guys.
Um, damn it.
Well, I mean, okay. Let me look for. Do you have Tony Parker's accomplishments?
I don't know. I don't.
Let me look for it real quick.
Yeah. Okay. So
Like I
yeah.
said, because I don't want to put no disrespect on Tony Parker's name now. Like I'm a big fan of Tony Parker. He was one of those dudes that gave me nightmares during those series with the Heat.
You know what? I actually believe you because I was expecting a much more crazy reaction like you did in the beginning, but you didn't continue on with your rant. So I think you're telling the truth.
No, I respect the hell out of that dude, man. Like I respect the hell out of him. Like I really do. I really do. I respect the hell out of Tony Parker.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find his accomplishments.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because
Okay,
I
let me read
cannot.
it on. Okay.
He's not even on the what you call it list, the one that you were talking about.
The snub list. Yeah, a lot of people forgot about him. Like, okay, so I have his honors right here, right?
Oh, dude, let me see it. Let me see it.
Come on, man. Like, keep sharing and Steve. Come on, man. You
Yeah,
you
dude,
have you have Google.
dude, this is my list. Like, come on, man, stop
All
being
right,
lazy.
you have Google, but I'll share
But
it.
when you're sharing it, all you have to do is just go onto the tab, don't you?
Mm, I don't know.
Just click the tab. That's what I assume. But all right.
No, okay. All right. Let me pop it in. Okay, you should see it, right?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. It's kind
Okay,
of small, so go. You read it.
let me put it on full screen.
Thank you. Yeah, Malta, you're right. Gary was better at everything, and he also said it didn't drive as well as Tony. Now I think Tony Parker was also the better shooter,
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
and but Gary Payton used to post up even power forwards and centers. Look, like, you guys are actually persuading me to put him back in. It's just very very hard because I'm trying to fit Tony Parker in this list, but
Okay.
you're right,
All right. Let
Malta.
me. All right.
Like,
Let me read this. All right. So he's obviously four-time NBA champion. He is a Finals MVP,
good.
2007.
That's what solidifies everything. But go ahead.
So All Star, one, two, three, four, six-time All Star. He's a NBA. He's four-time All NBA.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's the all-time leader in assists for San Antonio. Um, I mean that's really about it. That's it.
And it also said, oh, all NBA, oh, third team, okay, and
Yeah.
all NBA second team. No, dude, you
Three
acting
times.
like this is a bad resume.
All right, but it's not Gary Payton. Like it's not Gary Payton.
Championships.
All right, that's fine. But like I said, it's not Gary Payton. It just it's not like and I'm not trying to like I said I'm not trying to disrespect the man, but it's not. But his as good as the resume is, that's not Gary Payton.
Mm, let me see. You know what? All right. Crap, dude, this is hard now. Yeah, thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah, man. Like if you're gonna say what you gotta say, man, you gotta come with the facts. Understand? You gotta come with the facts.
No, I did.
Okay, but you forgot one important thing. That man was legit. That
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Gary Payton was legit.
Okay,
So
so all right.
okay, who's the third guy?
Okay, so I'm going to put Gary Payton back in.
Hmm.
So that means Tony Parker is now off, and I cannot believe I'm doing this.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to go on your side. I think I'm gonna have to remove Paul Pierce.
You okay? So you're gonna remove Paul Pierce. Who you adding in?
Tony Parker.
Okay, right. Hey, you have no argument with me, even though like based on the accomplishments. I mean, um, obviously he's also a Finals MVP, 10-time All Star, 4-time All NBA. Um, I mean, me personally, I would replace him with Tony Parker. I wouldn't have an argument there.
Say that again.
I wouldn't have an argument with removing Paul Pierce because their accomplishments are the same, are very similar.
Yeah.
I think Paul Pierce, you can make a claim that he's a better player than Tony Parker,
Yeah, of course.
but like I like look, if you're gonna replace Paul Pierce, you get I'm fine with you put anybody else who has a worthy resume.
Okay. So I'm not I'm not really getting much crap from you about that. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so all right, so pretty much let me see. I removed Anthony Davis
Hmm.
and I removed
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Hmm.
I think wasn't there supposed to be one more?
Yeah,
Um
there's one more person you said you were going to remove, but you were trying to remove Gary Payton, and then me and Malta convinced you otherwise.
yeah, I did. Well, especially when you were constantly pointing out his resume. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about the defensive player. So yeah, I had to put him in. Now, dude, I don't know. Okay, let me share this because I want to show you this.
Okay.
Um, okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all the players here,
Hmm. And
and
Malta said like Paul Pierce rival was Kobe, who Pierce led past the Lakers in '08. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a cool story, man. But
oh, you know what?
he
You're
had
right.
he had
Yeah,
he had one he had one he was Finals MVP one time, and they got the team the championship win. That's fine. But the totality of his career, I don't believe is worthy of being a top 75 player. I just don't.
there's two people I'm looking at, but I don't think I could do it.
Go ahead.
I'm look for if I'm gonna keep Paul Pierce in, somebody has to be removed because it's 51 players. So I'm looking at Damian Leonard,
Hmm.
for Paul Pierce, or I'm looking at no, I can't do it. I'm looking at Carmelo Anthony.
No, listen. Carmelo Anthony has to be on the list
Oh, he has to be on the list. You think?
based on based purely on his scoring prowess. Like he has to be on the list.
Even though his defense was garbage,
Yeah, no, no,
all,
no.
all that size and all that strength for nothing.
Hey, listen. When he was younger, he was a very dynamic player. Like when you look at some of the highlights of Carmelo Anthony, it's shocking how athletic he was when he was younger. Now I do agree, like he obviously he's no LeBron, but like when it comes to being a pure scorer, like that dude was as good as anybody. So okay, let me ask you a question: Paul Pierce or Reggie Miller? That's what Malta said in the chat.
Paul Pierce or Reggie Miller. I love the rivalry that they had. Um,
I think didn't Reggie Miller one time goaded Paul Pierce into getting ejected?
I think that was Jamal Tesley that did that.
Hmm. I have to look. I have to look it up. 'Cause I do remember they had a playoff series. I remember someone coaxed Paul Pierce into getting ejected.
Yeah,
And then that was funny. But so you're willing to remove who are you willing to remove? Damian Lillard?
for Paul Pierce, I'm looking at Damian Lillard and I'm looking at Carmelo Anthony.
But who? Oh, okay. So you're thinking about removing Carmelo Anthony. Who are you going to put in his place?
Yeah, Paul Pierce. Because remember, I,
Well,
I
you said
put
you had three players that you wanted to add. You
yeah
had three players you wanted to remove, three players you wanted to add.
Yeah, remember, I had Tony Parker,
No, but
and
who? Okay, okay. So you said Tony Parker you would put on the list. You also who else did you say you wanted to add?
okay, I added Tony Parker and I added Clay Thompson.
Okay, who was the third guy you wanted to add?
Oh yeah, the third guy was Dwight Howard.
Okay.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna have to keep him off because it just I don't have room because I'm looking at my because I wrote it down as you were
Mhm.
talking,
Mhm.
and I have Dwight Howard and I have Paul Pierce. I already put Tony Parker in, and I put Clay Thompson in, and I reinsert Gary Payton in. So that's the 50 players right now,
Mhm.
and I have Paul
Well,
Pierce.
remember this is 75 player list. Remember this is
Oh,
75.
yeah. My bad.
Mhm.
75 player,
Yeah.
and Paul Pierce is out right now. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking if I should remove Damian Leonard or Carmelo Anthony because I don't see anybody else. I'm not removing Dirk Nowitzki. I'm not removing Dwayne Wade. Obviously not. I'm not removing LeBron James. I'm not removing Kawhi Leonard. I'm not removing Jason Kidd.
Mhm.
So, obviously I'm not removing Kobe Bryant
Yeah.
or Steph Curry. Scottie Pippen, no, but yeah, and I'm not removing Ray Allen, and I'm not removing Kevin Garnett.
Look,
So
the only person in my opinion that should be removed is Paul Pierce. That's it.
okay, so that means do you think Damian Lillard is better?
Yeah. And I think that he has time to be even better than he is not right now. I don't like again. I'm not looking. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not a fan of Paul Pierce, but I'm also trying to look at this as objectively as I possibly can. I don't know what this guy would have done without Garnett and Ray Allen, and even with all that, they only won one championship.
You know what? You're right.
They
They
only
should
won
have.
one.
They should have at least won two.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? I know there was one series they lost to the Lakers, and I know they got bounced by Dwight Howard's Orlando team, right? 1 year, and then I think obviously LeBron James and the Big Three they beat them the following years, and then I know I know they had two series against Miami. They had two like one series where Miami smoked them, and there was another year where they took them to seven.
Yeah, that one was a crazy series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then they faltered against the Knicks. I think the following year,
yeah.
and then that's when they got broken up.
Hmm.
And mind you, when they got broken up, they went to the Nets. Garnett and Pierce went to the Nets, and they did nothing in that with them.
Correct.
That team was supposed to be this team that's supposed to challenge Miami, and Miami smoked beat them in I think 5 games.
Yep.
And I remember he had one good. I remember he had one good series when he was with Washington. He made a game. I think he made a game winner in Washington. But other than that, like he's a very good player. But I think the championships has elevated him to a level where people think he's more than who he is.
By
In
winning
my
the championship and the
Yeah,
Finals MVP. Yeah.
yeah. In my opinion.
Okay, so then dude, I'm not looking at Carmelo Anthony anymore because I'm looking at Damian Leonard, but dude, bro, this is so tough. So I'm gonna make my final decision.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so my final decision, obviously, you're already aware that Anthony Davis was removed for Clay Thompson,
Hmm.
and hold on, who did I replace for Tony Parker?
Did you keep Paul Pierce on your list or no?
No,
Okay, so I guess you replaced Tony Parker with Paul Pierce.
yeah, with Paul Pierce,
Hmm.
and I left Gary Payton alone. All right, so I'm gonna have to leave Paul Pierce out and keep Damian Leonard.
All right, all right. Well, me don't like I said, I think an argument can be made for Vince Carter. I think he should be on the list. I think an argument can easily be made for Dwight Howard.
But who would you
But
remove?
the only person I would remove is Paul Pierce, and the only person I would add in is Klay Thompson. I think that a list like Klay Thompson has to be on this list because
Agreed.
I think because Not only because of his shooting prowess is just as good as Steph Curry's, and I think that his defensive prowess is something that should not be ignored. Should
Yeah,
not be
it's
ignored.
better than Steph Curry's.
Yeah,
Now,
and I
granted,
think and when you have a duo as good as Thompson and Clay and Steph, I believe both men should be on that list. I
I
believe both
agree.
men should be on the list. And because when you have someone when you have a dynasty like that, brand thing, but the that franchise who started the ascent of that franchise started with Clay and Steph. And
Yes,
I think if you're gonna put Steph on there, you have to put. I think Clay has to be deserving of that too.
agreed.
So, all right, so I guess that's it, man. Like I said, we went 3 hours. You know, it was going like I mean it was bound to happen. You know what I mean? It was bound to happen. But get shout out to Malta. I know he left a little bit ago, but shout out to him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Double Shooter, for also contributing. And contextual MD. I don't know who the fuck you are, but you can go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to entertain your BS. But anyway, you have
Did you
anything
did,
else?
did you actually block him?
I know I just timed him out for 300 seconds. He just left. So
Wait, say that again.
I just timed him out. I was looking for the block button. I was definitely looking for the block button, but I just timed
Oh,
him out.
oh, okay.
Oh,
But yeah, I think overall this list was very very good. It was very hard for me to make a decision,
hmm
but after all, the I think this podcast was great. I really enjoyed the topics that we discussed,
hmm
and once again, contextualize whatever who you are. Thank you for your trolling and all the other mumbo jumbo you was that you were displaying on here.
this is
But
the first podcast where I didn't actively yell at you.
yeah. This is the first time. I think we actually agreed almost on everything on this podcast.
Pretty much.
First time ever.
Oh,
First
okay.
time
The
ever.
block button is hide user. Okay, I'll remember that next time. Thank you, Double Shooter. Thank you so much. Thank you for participating in the podcast as well.
Oh yeah. Devil shooter. Yeah, appreciate you, man. So hide user. Okay, all right. So that's it. And obviously, Malta, man, you really participated a lot in that. I subscribe to you guys' channel. I'm
hmm
gonna write you guys' names down right now as I'm speaking. Devil shooter 126M. And Malta, I think I have you already, but I'm just going to, make sure I double check and I got you. But yeah, this was, fantastic. I really love this podcast. We didn't really fight that much today.
Hmm.
But most likely we're probably going to be fighting on the next podcast. So once again, appreciate you all for joining us. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
All right, Who 186. I'm out. Peace.